Hello everyone, welcome on in. Welcome to, there it is, Morrowind. Morrowind with a twist. We are still not playing Morrowind. Like, when are we gonna play Morrowind? I don't know. But today we're doing something far more special. We're going to look at Morrowind, we're going to look at mods, and we're going to talk with the author of those mods. Self, welcome on in.
Yes, hello everybody.
Hi, chat. You know how it goes. You have to tell us if one of us is too loud or too quiet before we can actually take a look at the mods. My name is Philip.
Well,
Welcome back. Seth, you have to tell us how you are so people can hear you.
oh, yeah. Probably a good idea. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just gonna say some words really quick so you can all check if volume's okay.
That's excellent. It looks quite good on my side. Seth sounds good. Nothing about Dana is sounding good. Well, thank you guys.
All right.
Nan sounds great. I've been away from Morrowind for about half a year. I'm looking for mods for a new build. Oh my god, you're in for a treat because you stop looking at mods for half a year and it's like you're gonna have so many new mods to try. Like, good luck. Like
Yeah,
I've stopped updating for 2 months, like before Christmas, and now I'm a little lost. You were gonna
yeah.
say.
I took like a break for 1 year from Morrowind modding, like actually customizing my install. And MWSE made such progress in that time. There was so much that I had to take a look at, and new possibilities for mods. Just amazing.
Well, I think Null Cascade updates MWRC on a daily basis. Quite often. Let's
Yeah,
go
quite
with
often at
that.
least.
Let's go with that. And then there's of course the fact that modders would go, "Hey Null, is there a function that does this, 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 and that?" And he goes, "No." And then a few days later, "Yes." So it's sort of a interactive thing where it evolves.
Yeah, I'm kind of guilty of that too. I've annoyed him a fair bit. So
No, it's good.
yeah, but I also did like a little bit of just a really little bit of documentation work for MW and ESE and two little fixes, but that's it. I didn't really do anything at all.
Well, documentation, as I understand it, is probably the least fun part of coding
Yeah, but the
anything.
most important, really.
It is, unless you
If
want to
people don't know that,
spend. Yeah.
yeah, if people don't know that a function exists, like a developer, unless they actually look at NWSE source code or go into Morrowind's code, you have no idea that you can even do anything like that. So
Joy.
it's also kind of essential.
All right. Where's my? I've changed my things, and that's just not good. There it is. I wanted to take a look at the mods that you've published for Morrowind and Morrowind only. For a second, I was wondering if you had dabbled into modding other games.
Yeah, actually, a lot. Yeah. I've already really released mods for Morrowind, but I've been modding. Well, if you can call that modding, since I was 10 years old, so around about 20 years ago.
So
And back then
when the game came out.
yeah, but I didn't actually play well mod Morrowind at that time. I was like a lot into Command and Conquer and stuff like that, strategy games, and that's where I started modding first. Morrowind actually came like 2-3 years later.
Okay, so the first mod that you've published on the Nexus was last year in December, so
Yeah.
really recently. What about the mods you've been making for the past 10 years? What sort of mods were they?
Well, those weren't Morrowind mods. It's all sorts of games, really. It was, Jesus Christ, there was so many like for Unreal Tournament 2004, Factorio. It's all sorts of mods, like everything you can think of.
It's like if a game can be modded,
Yeah,
you're
just
there.
about it. If there's anything I like to improve or don't like, I'm just gonna change it.
You know, you may have, like, I think I have a problem because I will mod my Morrowind until I break it, but at least it's just one game.
Yeah, I've done that a few times with a lot of games, but I always resort to fixing them. But that takes a lot of time. Yeah, sometimes it's not even fun anymore. But you just press on and mod your game until it's actually finished, so you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is the most fun part of making a mod or a game for you? Like what phase or what part of it?
I believe that's like the hacky part where you start just figuring out what you want to do exactly, and then just smash a prototype together. And that's all really fast, and you can see like your progress really fast and stuff like that. But yeah, then it gets to the point where you have to polish your mod, hunt for bugs, test it like 24/7. That's the kind of annoying part, but everything before that is like the most fun.
Yeah, the getting your idea to work is the fun
Yeah,
part.
right.
And then getting it to work perfectly and ready for public release.
Yeah, that's always a pain.
A little less. Let's go with a little less. All right. So the first mod that you have published for Morrowind was in December.
Right.
And you started with the enemy bars.
That's correct, yeah.
Which is, like, you know, for a first mod published, it's not exactly your Seidanin house that people begin with.
Yeah, like I've done a few MWSE mods to fix some oddities like alchemy exploits and all that sort of stuff, like the usual Morrowind exploits and errors. And I haven't released any of those, so I had some practice with MWSE and knew kind of what it was capable of. So I just thought, okay, I'm annoyed that I can't see anything at all about enemies, so might as well just try it and see how far I get. And it was actually really easy.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Whenever I have a new mod idea, I'll think of you because I know it's really easy.
Yeah, I tend to say that a lot
Merlord
too.
will be so pleased to hear that. It's gonna go, yes.
Oh, goddamn.
Actually, I think I remember there was it Rundstam that did a UI mod like a few years ago. Let me see if I can find it. Where he would, I don't know, pincushion, weather adjuster, UI inspector. I think it was UI inspector.
Yeah, I use that a lot. It's actually a really useful tool. Like, it doesn't show everything you can make use of, and you still have to output something to log to see its structure, but that's really, really, really useful for anyone trying to make UI mods.
Yeah. I remember trying it because you see on my stream I have that what is it called? Well, that bar at the bottom, there's a third something. Lower third. Boom. I have that, well, that lower third. And so my game, I sort of had to pull it a bit up because then you wouldn't see.
I get it.
So I did use that, but I would have to set it up every single time when I played the game. But that was a beginning and definitely quite useful.
Oh,
Right.
so you just opened that mod up and like adjusted size and position and stuff like that?
Yeah, I believe that's the
yeah.
one I used.
Yeah, that makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, I made it move. But
Yeah,
now
doing,
we don't have to do that anymore. And
Oh yeah, I guess.
Merlord then did something else, also took pity on me and my health bar being hidden in my stream. And he did something, but yeah, it was a quick version, so it pushed everything up. So then
Yeah, you
the
just
top
have
part
to...
would be hidden. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. You just basically have to put an invisible element under the health bars and stuff like that, and that's it. Really.
Right, I have a game. I created a self-ultimate character to test it. Because why not? It's my 5 seconds of fun trying to come up with a name that includes the modder's name.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that one.
Well, for now it's the self-ultimate because it has absolutely every single one of your mods. So
Oh, I see already. Yeah.
maybe you might be the ultimate modder as well. But
I mean,
don't
that's.
know.
I believe that title still goes to a lot of other models first.
We do have many of legendary modders that have been around for basically 20 years, or modders that have been here maybe more recently, but really made a revolution.
Yeah, I mean, I've just recently started, really. I haven't done that much. I've released some quality of life mods, but that's it, really.
All right, let's start with the enemy bars because that was your first mod, and this little dude is definitely not an enemy. But you know, why did you start with that mod, by the way? Why the enemy bars? Was that something? Oh no, chill, little guar. Was that sorry? Was that something that was annoying you a lot that you were missing from other
Yeah,
games?
like a lot. I mean, I also have like a work in progress that shows active magic effects on enemies and stuff like that. That's like stuff that annoyed the hell out of me. I looked at NPCs and I had no idea. Well, I could look in the bottom left corner for the HP, but I mean, you might as well not play the game at that point because it's in the bottom left and the enemies in front of you. That's just silly. So I just tried to see how hard it was to make. And yeah, then suddenly it was working and might as well release it was my first thought.
Might as
And
well. People might like it.
yeah, essentially. And back when I released it, someone on the Nexus, I believe his name was Crimson Hunter, actually asked for a lot of customization options. It was pretty bare bones when starting out. It basically was a fixed layout with some options. And yeah, he essentially made me integrate all those options.
Good feedback from people using the mod is really useful.
Yeah.
So I got the options for it. So I can choose to see Magicka if I want to. I could see how that might be when playing. Maybe you don't want to magically know a lot of information about your enemy, like
Right,
how
because
much
there's like,
Magicka.
I mean, especially if you are aiming for a more vanilla approach, you can't see Magicka or Fatigue that way. Another point is like a lot of enemies have really wonky Magicka and stamina values, fatigue values, just because nobody ever sees them. So,
Yep,
yeah.
that's fair. Could I'm thinking a little bit too much, but I really like having progression in the game, and there is now I forgot who, somebody made a mod for speechcraft where all the options you have for speechcraft only become available as you
Silver
get
tongue,
better
yeah,
with
yeah.
speechcraft. Is it Silver Tongue or
I believe it was Silver Tongue by Vitruvian Gua, is that right?
probably, like, there's two mods and I always, like, for me they go together. In fact, the first one came out and I said, hey, do you think you could add that? And somebody else did that. Like, anyway, but you know that. Do you think it would be possible to tie in how much information you see about the people somehow with maybe not a skill or experience, something like that? Mysticism,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, I've thought about that, but I decided against at least I could make it an option sometime down the road, but there's already so many mods that like integrate some aspects from Oblivion, like at level 25 of security or whatever, you get disability and so on. And at some point, you're just gonna have like mysticism unlocking 4 or 5 things at once, and everything else is just barren. So I kind of decided against it,
It's like
and just leave it pretty normal.
and let people choose. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. I can imagine if all the mods take that approach, and then you start the game, and
yeah.
all you can do is walk forward. It's like everything
Yeah, and
is
also
locked.
like that would make, especially mysticism, I see a lot of that being used for mods, and that's at some point it's just an essential skill, and you can't even make a character without picking mysticism at that point. So yeah, but I get that. But I wasn't really sure which stat to pick because, I mean, mysticism makes some kind of sense. Maybe also what I thought might make sense is an alternative new spell effect, which you could acquire, that you can cast on yourself, like, I don't know, enemy information or something for 30 seconds.
Like,
That could probably integrate it really well. Yeah, but I haven't really started working on that.
like a sort of a divination spell that there's already that in a way in Magicka Expanded. Operator Jack added spells from the old Cortex scripted spells, and one of them lets you see the health, possibly
right, that one,
Magicka.
yeah.
So there's already something like that actually. I've made myself godlike because I wanted to show that now not only do I have the name of my enemy, but I also know that it hates me because it's red. Whereas this one doesn't hate me yet. Too late.
Yeah, sometimes I wanted to integrate like that it gets red when the enemy is not actively fighting you, but would actually be hostile. But given how Morrowind determines if something gets hostile, it's I wouldn't say it's a clusterfuck essentially, but it's not very well written. So I went the easy route and just checked: is this actor in combat with you? Yes. Color the health bar
It
differently.
hates you.
Yeah.
Done.
Deciding if anything actually wants to engage combat with you depends on a lot of things, like even the distance to the enemy and stuff like that. So not really an option.
So it's a different route. Merlord made a mod where you hit shift or control, I forgot, and you will see the enemy's hostility.
Right,
But I think
hostility indicator,
he
yeah.
reads the combat rating. I forgot the name of it.
The fight value, yeah, but that's just
The fight value,
I
thank
mean,
you.
yeah, that gives you like an idea of how likely it is that this guy will attack you, but there's no real fixed value that will say at 80 fight or something, this guy will fight you. A lot of mods actually use that, like at 80 fight, that guy's gonna fight you, but that's not actually the case. So it's just
There's
guesswork.
distance as well, isn't there?
There's distance, like also your companions play a role, your disposition, all kinds of stuff.
The only one for sure is 100. They hate you, no matter what you do.
Yeah, I believe 100 fight is pretty sure.
Yep. All right, looking at the options. So we can choose to have fatigue or magicka or not, depending on how much information we want. We can have the color change, as we've just shown with the crab.
You're right.
That is now that. Show a bar for hostile actors only, meaning that if I go back to town...
Right, I have no descriptions for this mod yet. That's like my first
But
mod, so I didn't
if
pay
I'm
too much
guessing it
attention.
right, then yeah, this guy is a mystery because he's not my enemy. Those pants,
Exactly.
though, those pants. It's like he's wearing a pair of knickers on top of it, Britney Spears style.
Looks like an Agonian and cowboy pants or something like that.
Yes, it could be that. So now I know nothing about the guards. So that is an option that we have. Enemy bars. Honestly...
Yeah, which could also be used for compatibility for some of Magicka Expanded spells, because those actually use this tooltip you see right there with the guard name. So you could like leave this option turned off, so you can still see those whatever those spells display.
Yeah, like, so essentially, you don't show the bars. So when I look at them before they attack me, I have no idea how strong they are. And if I have the spell from Magicka Expanded, I can use it and I'll have an idea and decide whether I want to fight this guy or not. Yeah, that works out pretty well. Neat.
I mean, it's still not a perfect solution because it's really essentially in mod conflict, I hide this tooltip. In my current version, I have an option to always show this tooltip in case you really want that compatibility. Compatibility, Jesus Christ. Compatibility. But yeah, that would mean you see the name and the name on top again. So that's up to the user then.
We have two different styles, and that's when I'm gonna pull the screenshot so everyone can see it. It was right there. Which one did you have at the beginning? Like, which one did you make?
The first one was actually the one at top. That's the compact view. Because I felt like the normal view took up way too much space on the screen for what were essentially minor stats to look at. Like, the most important stat really is health. Fatigue is nice to know, but you really only care about how close am I to collapsing this guy, for example, or like how well is he able to hit me and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what my
so
thought process
you
going
have
about it.
the compact one with health at the top and the two others, or that's the one I have in game with all three lines, and then you can have decorations on top, especially if you like Skyrim.
Right, yeah, I have basically just ripped those from Skyrim, but I know Nexus doesn't like that, but who cares? Really you can just select those, color them in brown or silver, or just outright remove them. That's an option.
Which, where's my game? Here's my game.
Yeah.
Compact.
Yeah, sadly that needs a restart.
Is the one. And with or without decorations. I like brown, I like the colors. However, for that one, we need to restart the game. That's why we looked
like
at the
you
screenshot.
can still leave it, it will just not update this one setting, so it doesn't matter.
And we can choose the colors as well. Can I move the enemy bars? Not yet.
Yeah, just scroll down.
Yes, I can. Here they are. Thank you.
You can actually configure most of it, so.
But I can't see it immediately though.
No,
You see, you've spoiled us with your HUD customizer. We'll see in a second. This is so beautiful. And now I'm like, this is not working.
Yeah, for HUD customizer it was really like, okay, people probably want to see what they are editing. Well, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, this wasn't a problem for enemy bars as much because really you just close the menu for one element and look at it. It's a bit tedious, but well, at least you have those options, so that's a plus.
No, it's like you know how it is. We always want more.
Yeah, I know.
That's how it is. All right, let's take a look at the HUD elements that we have, and people can see why I was complaining. With your HUD customizer, I can move things around. For example, if I look at my health bar, and it's in green, yeah, it does show.
Yeah, I really just wanted to make this little pulse effect because I felt like it. Yeah.
You can actually, my God, you can do everything. You can adjust the size of it. I really want to be informed if I'm gonna die. I don't want to miss it.
I also tried making like rotation a thing, but that's just simply not possible with Morrowind's UI toolkit. Transparency, I have some of that like already done, but it's really messy because a lot of UI elements already have like transparency built in, and especially the minimap just doesn't really work with transparency. That's a huge issue. So that's probably what most people wanted, like transparency for minimaps. So I thought, yeah, might as well not release it right now because it's not ready. But yeah, that might come in a future update.
Yeah. Like when you said transparency, honestly, I was thinking something more like, where do we see that? I want to say we see that in Elder Scrolls Online, where your health bar, like they don't show unless you're in combat.
Yeah, I've already had some users asking for that on Nexus.
Of course they are.
Um,
Of course they are.
yeah. Also, like, there was something else. Well, I can't quite remember it. But yeah, that was one point that's really like a big wish from users. It's not too hard to do, but I never really started work on that. Like, it's really, really, really easy to do. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's like maybe 6 lines of code. But the problem with that is that it takes, well, I'm gonna say it uses up some performance right now, but it's so minor. Like, it wouldn't even matter, not even on a like 20-year-old rig. So yeah, I just didn't do it because nothing in this mod actually does anything at runtime. So yeah, that's why I didn't do it yet.
Yet. I heard that.
Yet,
Right.
right? It's in my to-do list, but I don't know when I get around to that because right now I'm actually playing something else.
Come on,
I guess.
spill the beans. What are you playing?
Right now I'm playing Elden Ring.
Shocker.
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, it's all right. Like, I like it, but it's not like Jesus Christ Second Coming or something. But yeah, it's fine. I enjoy it.
My greatest disappointment when I realized that it was essentially Dark Souls with a different setting and beautiful and everything, but Dark
It's
Souls.
really just Dark Souls. Like, the marketing for Elden Ring was really, really bad. Like, well, not for sales. For sales, it was great, but for people, it was like, I mean, I don't have a problem with Dark Souls. I play Dark Souls. I like those games for what they are, but they really targeted another audience with like their whole ads and stuff like that. Like, it was a huge open world co-op game, stuff like that. It's nothing like that. It's just Dark Souls 4.
That's what it is, and it looks beautiful and everything. I'm trying to align my health bar. Unfortunately, my enemy HUD disappears whenever I open the menu.
Yeah.
Which is a minor thing. I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, you could maybe let me think. You should set the position to 500, I believe. Sorry, 50% horizontal position, and vertical position probably around 15%. So 50 and 15. That should probably fit. Roundabout. Well, 15 was a bit much.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the whole point of customizing your. Yeah, and I think I would like my health to. Now I really want my health bar to go away unless I'm in combat.
Makes sense, yeah, I see that.
But that's only because I'm thinking of that design where it's like in my face. But you know, when I do permadeath, I die a lot. So I'm thinking a big flashing health bar, maybe it would work for me.
Yeah, I also had I already have this little flash effect, so I thought maybe also have an option for like pulsing health bars and stuff like that. That's also on my to-do, but that's very low priority.
There. Lady. There we go. We're almost there. All right, that's the basic bars, but what I really like is the minimap area that you've done as well.
Yeah, I believe that was like the point that most people would like, because really Morrowind's minimap, it's nice that it exists, but it's completely useless because it's really tiny, and realistically most people will probably just pin their like menu map and use that instead.
I got confused for a second because I saw NPC Health Bar. So when I have your enemy's health bar installed,
Right, that won't show. My
that's
health
fine.
bar mod deactivates that. It's like just a little yellow bar you see in the bottom left normally
Yeah,
when you attack
exactly.
someone.
Sorry.
So yeah,
people.
you could configure that, but the options for that are kind of slim, just because I mean I essentially made another mod that replaces the health bar of NPCs, so I didn't want to bother like making a ton of options for that.
Yeah, it makes sense. But what it means is that if people are thinking, oh, this is too much for me, this is too over the top, if they just have, no, not this one, where are you? If they just have that one, they can configure the enemy yellow health bar to be a little more visible if they want to.
Right, exactly. Like the normal default configuration for HUD Customizer actually places it a little bit below your crosshair and centered. So
Nice.
yeah, that's a better position for the health bar, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one. Back to the minimap. One thing with the minimap, most people don't know that. It's just if you pin your map,
Yeah.
and then it stays there, and the minimap is gone, and you have the minimap that you want. But like I can't remember how many times I mentioned that during somebody else's stream or sometimes mine's, and then we're like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, this whole pinning feature of the menu is really nice, but most people don't use it actually.
No.
I mean, the problem with that is also like the huge frame of this minimap also bothers some people, so that's fair, I guess.
True. Never happy, those people. Let's go to the options of the So NPC Health Bar was the one I was looking at. Brilliant. Map.
Right.
Yes or not visible. I could make it bigger if I wanted to. Actually, I quite like that. I quite like that because it's not really in the way, but I can see more as well.
Yeah, like I normally have it set up like all in the bottom left corner, like minimap in the bottom left corner, and my health bars just above that. So it's like a really compact little thing. So I can see, like most of my screen is basically untouched that way, but it's just my taste. That's why I made it configurable.
That's the whole point. And I realize that I'm hiding the minimap, so I'm I'm fiddling with the minimap, and you guys can't see anything because I'm right in front of it. And even if I move, there's my little dragon right in front of it.
You could just move the minimap upwards, so.
That's what I'm gonna do, yeah, since we can configure it. So here we go. Customizer, map. I have just adjusted the size. Let's now make it go higher. Much higher, so, you know, you guys can see it.
Ah, yeah, it looks a little bit cut off right now because you have two mods installed that actually modify the map container, but you can also modify those mods.
Exactly. So you can make your minimap the size that you want. I like that it was the same size as my Magicka notifications that you guys cannot see either. We'll get to those. Actually, is it in the equipped? Yes.
It must be in equipped, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get notification.
Oh, yes. What did I change then?
You change your active magic to the bottom left.
Oh, yes. It doesn't move in real time?
Well, you have to release the slider for it to update. Oh, wait, what are you trying to
I'm
edit
trying
right
to
now?
change my little
Oh,
constant.
the active magic icons.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just moved like the little text box that pops up when you switch equipment. It's like somewhere in the middle of the screen now. No, that's under other, I believe, because it was
Reset.
white.
Yes. I just hit reset, so whatever I've tweaked
Yeah,
unintentionally is good.
Under other, I believe. Yeah, the next tab under other should be.
There. Active magic effect. I'm gonna put that up so you guys can see it. No, not there. Go away. There we go. Yes, now it's visible. And I like the fact that you can make it vertical, very neat, very tidy, or horizontal as we're used to. That's a neat little feature.
Yeah, vertical is default because actually the way I position UI elements would make it a little bit harder to actually place it right next to the map because it uses relative coordinates on your screen. So whenever this container grows, it will try to center on what you've set. So it could extend to the right and to the left. Which
So
means if you wanted like before, you would just move your minimap app a little bit. That's perfectly possible, but yeah, it has its little caveats that you have to deal with.
no, I like vertical. It could be because it's new and different. There could be a little bit of
Probably.
novelty going on. But I like that very much. And then the map. When I get new effect and my I've decided to have it vertical, the new effects are added on top or at the bottom?
I believe on top, but like the whole container will actually reposition itself, so it will still stay perfectly centered at whatever coordinate you set.
Okay, good.
So if you set it to like 50%, no matter how much it will grow, it will stay centered.
Okay, neat. I like that. What about chat? Have you been like? I'll be honest. I tested the mod when it came out. Enough that I was like, okay, mod of the week, fine. Made my week easy. But because I haven't played since before Christmas, I've never actually played with it. So that's gonna be fun, figuring out what's the ultimate layout with the best information and everything.
Yeah, like you have a few little like behavioral changes. Like let's take Null Cascade made a mod that's like really old by now and wasn't really maintained anymore, but nonetheless,
Get lost?
it was called controlled consumption, which
Oh
basically
yes.
yeah, okay. So that worked like it was placed in the same container as like this little sneak icon. And if the sneak icon was invisible, it automatically moved to the left. So behavior like that isn't exactly possible anymore. You have to set definite positions for your sneak icon and your control consumption. You could easily just put it above like your melee weapon or your spells, for example. That could work, but those don't automatically like change the position anymore if their sneak icon is invisible or not. But that's like one case of I don't know how many mods. So I was like, okay, yeah, people just have to put it where they like
mods,
it.
add element. Control consumption was the first one. Then
Yeah. I mean,
then
Ashfall obviously adds one.
yeah, but it's got its own thingy now and
Yeah.
supported by your mod as well.
There's like operator Jack's encumbrance bar.
Yeah.
Actually, let me look. I have a lot of
Wasn't there
compatibility already
something with
listed.
have you looked at 4NM because it adds quite a few UI element?
Yeah, I
The
haven't bothered
charging
with 4NM.
spell, there's a quick select spell, there's a shield damage bar, I think, as well.
Yeah, but I never really bothered with compatibility for 4NM for various reasons.
Is it
Let's
because
just
the code is one immense line that never ends?
that's one point, yeah. But also a lot of this is really, really like how do you say that? It's not really made to be compatible with anything.
Which is fair. Like 4NM is a mod
It's a
onto
huge
itself.
mod, like
Yes.
yeah.
I think
But
Axe Magister is not bothered with compatibility with other mods either because
yeah, a
he's
lot of
making.
that is a big problem of that is like some elements don't have. Each UI element has like an ID that you can assign so that you can easily find it later for other mods or for your own, whatever. But 4NM also doesn't set IDs for a lot of elements, so well.
Harder to track. Well, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. There's a good question there. Can we share presets for positioning elements?
Not yet. Well, you could just copy your config, really, your config file. But no, not yet. I do have something work in progress for all of my mods in my Seth's library mod, which yeah, that's another point. Like I made a library mod to have all this reset config functionality and also presets in the future, which is not the other thing that might or might not be integrated with MWSE at some point, because I'm trying to rewrite it so that it could easily be integrated for other mods that would like to make use of it. But I haven't gotten to that point yet, because that would also take a lot of time again. Because for that you really have to make sure that like it's set in stone and won't change anymore. Like for my case, I'm just gonna update my mods and that's all there is to it. But yeah. So yeah, it will come in the future. Sometime. I can't.
That'd be cool, but for the time being, it's quite easy to share a screenshot and your config file, and if people like it, then they can use your config file.
Right. The config file is just found under your MWSE config folder. So you can copy that file and just paste it. It will work. But there's one like little problem with that. For HUD customizer's case. Every element you position in HUD customizer uses relative coordinates on your screen. Which means the following. So Morrowind does not scale its UI at all. So if you have like, I don't know, play Morrowind in 4K and don't use UI scaling in MGE your UI elements are going to be really, really tiny. And if you say, if you like put it at some elements dead center right next to each other on your layout, it might not work on another layout because they have maybe different UI scaling, MGXE, play on a different resolution, aspect ratio. Those aren't absolute coordinates, so it's going to be, relative coordinates. It's
So you'd have to make sure it's like, well, yeah, but I play in this resolution.
Right. Like if you play, I don't know, in 1080p, normal 16:9 ratio, that's like what most users do. That's what the normal config of HUD customizer is laid out for. It's also noted on the mod page that if you play in a different resolution or aspect ratio, then it might look a little bit funky after installing. But I mean, if you install HUD customizer, your use case most likely is customizing your HUD, so that's not really gonna be too much of a bother, I hope.
Makes sense. I was.
Oh yeah, you have 4K. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, someone's just saying my 4K plus 200% UI will be off if someone else has different tab. Right, 4K plus 200%. Like I myself play at a 1080p 120% setup. So yeah, your elements will be smaller because of your obviously of your resolution. But if you just scale your elements up again or reduce your resolution, it will look like that. But you can just reposition those elements, so that's no problem.
I'm reading one of the comments from Denina, and I forgot to mention it, that with the health bar, in addition to stretching it any way you want, moving it anywhere you want, you can also choose to have the values in there or not.
Yeah, Denina also brought up that I also still have to do that. It's also my to-do. More options for labels, meaning only show current value, maximum value, have labels for your weapon condition, your charges, maybe just show a percent number, stuff like that. There's like a lot of stuff I could still do with labels. But as I said before, that would be actually executed at runtime. And since I didn't want to do any of that, I didn't do it yet. But the performance impact will be so minimal. Really, any MW script mod will probably use more, no matter what it does. So, yeah, it was a bit overcautious.
I'm getting the sense that your to-do list is pretty big already.
Yeah, you could say that.
I could say that.
That's why I took a little bit of a break. Then I reinstalled my OS and all that. And yeah, it was like every one of my mods had like 10 plus points of new features and to-dos and stuff like that. There's also a lot of stuff I want to do in my mods, which obviously aren't posted anywhere. So that gets added on top. Yeah, it got a bit much, so
Yeah,
I was taking a breather there.
I get that. Asking, is it compatible with user interface hider?
You mean the one by Null Cascade that's like pressing F2 hides your UI? Yeah, that's perfectly compatible.
There.
I believe that's what you're talking about. Oh,
No, suspense.
let me see. User interface hide on Nexus. I can't. I know user interface
The
hider.
UI's mastermind? Oh, that's.
Let's
you
see,
mean? I mean, UI. We don't have that many. There is null UI expansion. Oh, I think it's a mod by. I know too low.
I see. Actually, I am not sure because I don't know how this mod operates. Let me see. How does this? Is it just gonna be something with MW script?
It is definitely.
Yeah, I'm really not sure, but normally everything you do in MW script is not able to edit IDs, delete UI elements, or something like that. So it should be compatible. I haven't tested it, so I can't say for sure, but chances that it won't work are really, really slim.
Oh, it's yours. Okay, so that's not the one I was thinking of. Also, I didn't realize that was you. Me and names.
Oh, all right.
Oh no, the mouse wheel. That's a different one. I have used this one to death. That was a good one, but that's not the one.
Mm-hmm.
User interface hider.
There are requirements, which comes with MWSE 2.1. Okay. Since I don't have 7-zip on my new install, give me a hot minute. I'm gonna take a real quick look at the code and see if it's compatible. That's gonna be
Pressure.
easy to figure out.
Your code is being reviewed right now.
No, I'm not gonna bash anyone's code. Like, I've done so much really garbage in my code just to get stuff out that I'm in no position to do anything of the sort.
And guys, help me remember. I'm trying to remember the sound mod by Tulolo. Also, or the name of the Nyx Hound companion that he did. Like, I'm just trying to remember any mod, and I can't. That's the thing. I haven't talked about mod enough, and now I forgot. I don't remember all the names like I used to. So sad. It's not Muse. Muse is for the music. Aura. Jeez.
Oh yeah, I used that too. Yeah.
It's coming back to me, but I thought that too did something with Clearsight. Aha! I knew there was another one.
Yeah, I believe that one is fine. I believe I've tested that once. I've tested I believe it was Null Cascades Hard Hider with F2, and I believe that one. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I tested it at some point.
Just hide parts of the UI depending if you're in combat or if you are sneaking. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Let me check. Is GUI hidden? Probably gonna get set here, right?
Who in here did not download Vapor Mist?
Yeah, I've just checked the UI hider mod from PNAN, Inom, and it looks like it's perfectly compatible. Although there might be some compatibility issues if I add options to maybe turn off certain elements when you enter combat.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, this mod also does something pretty much essentially the same.
Mm-hmm.
It just hides those elements.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. So, okay, menu multi visible. Yeah. Yeah, I see that you hide menu multi.visible. Yeah, that really depends on if users later on use those options to hide elements. In that case, those two mods might behave a little bit iffy, but besides that, there's no issue.
I was thinking the stealth icon. There is a Mort's mod that already stealth improved, that already...
Oh wait, actually no, there will be no compatibility issues if I go that route. Because the way I had UI elements is completely different. Normally, I specifically did that because of compatibility. Right now, mods usually just set visible to false or true on the UI element, like you would expect. Just set it invisible, for example. The way I do it is essentially forcing their size to 0. So that way I will just dodge all compatibility issues. Not all, most of them. And yeah, that won't be an issue.
That's the fun part of modding we were talking about. Figuring out how to do something. Finding the best solution.
Yeah, compatibility for HUD customizer was especially tricky. Just
Yeah, because for the longest time, the UI was something like we couldn't touch. We could have replacers of textures, but that was about it. It's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
quite
I
recent that we add things to it and modify.
yeah, I couldn't even blame all those mod authors like having fixed coordinates and stuff like that, because like the UI had one fixed layout and that's it. There was like not their mistake really. I was the one just taking the UI and ripping it open. So I had to like have compatibility options for all those.
And if I remember properly, Essentials Indicators does, and I have it installed, so I can.
Oh yeah, I used that. That has no issues
That's
at all.
good. Okay, good. So I have my sneak icon that appears in the middle, a la Oblivion and Skyrim. Love it when our stuff works together. I love it when mods work together.
Yeah, I normally try to actually avoid mods that would cause a lot of compatibility issues. HUD Customizer is like the one really big exception that's like a compatibility nightmare. But I believe it's in a good position and has like no current compatibility issues. I believe. But I don't know, some mod from 2004 might actually break. I have no idea.
Yeah, but the good news is that now I think it's fair to say that your HUD mod is going to be the basis for any sort of UI mod. Like, it's other modders that will have to take your mod into consideration, probably build on it, I don't know.
I mean, I have like a an option for other modders to hook like into this mod really simply, which you like everything you see on the mods right here is essentially me just using my own API for other modders, so they can just take the element and say, okay, HUD customizer can configure this element. User allowed to edit like size, position, visibility, and that's it. The rest is taken care of in HUD customizer.
Nice, very nice. So it already has built-in compatibilities for Clockwork. I love that mod.
Yeah, I totally forgot that that's not even core at some point. It's really a must-have.
There's also, for people who don't know it, Clockwork just adds the time on top of the minimap, and you can even choose if you want the 20-hour, 24-hour format or 12-hour format. And then be careful, because I have been in the game thinking, okay, I'm gonna rest, and then I rest and I go, what, it's still not the next day, and I rest again and time is not moving. It was real time, and I was like, oh, you dumb. So you can choose to have real time or game time. Just need to know which one.
Oh yeah, thank you, Zero Fox. I mean, I wouldn't call it the UI mod. It's like just only the first one that actually went through the pain to make it. It's not really complex. But yeah, I mean, compatibility is essential for a mod like this. If compatibility is not given, I might as well not make this mod.
Or you'll know that a lot of people just won't play your mod. Or you'll get lots of PMs. Can you make it work? Can you?
Yeah. Like I already had it with enemy bars, because that's like a really like I wouldn't say missing feature in Morrowind, more like something really handy that hasn't been done before, and I was literally bombarded for the first few days with stuff that like wanted to be configurable and stuff like that. And for Hud Customizer, I just went full mile.
Like you already had a pretty good idea of what sort of feature people and yourself would want from a bar, and then you could
Right.
do
At
most
some
of it.
point, I actually thought about like having them work with drag and drop and stuff like that, but that would be so much. Well, yeah, it would be so much work that I just said no. You know what? I already have highlighting for elements. If you're on the config menu, you're just gonna use it once and never touch it again, probably. So I'm not gonna put in that effort. Yeah.
There.
All right, another, I already forgot, another thing you might be able to modify is like color of bars. That's also something that I believe we have skipped, but just as a side note.
For the health bars.
Yeah, for health, magicka, and fatigue bar.
Was it there? Yeah. I you know what, I skipped it, but I think it's just me. It's because for me these colors are the colors. I can't imagine any
Yeah.
other color. So
Like,
I
could
didn't
imagine
even
like,
fiddle with it.
yeah, I could like imagine like maybe some people taking yellow for fatigue, but really, that's just personal taste. And there's also like the issue of color blindness. Like those people could easily adjust that, because as it is right now, those colors aren't exactly friendly for those kinds of people.
You have a dead zone. This is the one button
Right.
solution for me.
Oh, yeah, essentially. I mean, it also moves your elements on the right and left and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really only made because I thought maybe users want to align the elements exactly at the edge of the screen, so might as well make it configurable and hope it works.
Nice. I'm not seeing what I'm changing.
Oh, you're changing the highlighter. So go to bars right now. You will see what you're changing soon. If you go to bars and like, you've changed the highlighting option, because
I
you can
see.
configure that too, because no idea why I did that, but you can.
That's so I went there and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna change the colors. No, this is the color of the highlight specifically. To change the color of the health bars, that's where it happens. That's very red. And let magicka be bluer. And my fatigue bar would be gray. That's very ugly what I've done.
Well, I've done much worse when I was like making screenshots for this mod.
My fatigue bar is now puke. That's how I want it.
That's very nice.
So when when you're really exhausted, when you work out too hard, that's what happens. Not that it happened to me. I never ever work out too hard. All right, I wanted to look at the Asphalt Head. So it is one compact item, and I can choose to move it.
Right. Actually, I tested like this whole mod compatibility system with Merlot first. So we actually made sure that it works first.
Yeah, I can imagine people asking very quickly, what about Asphalt?
Yeah, that's also an issue. That was like immediate.
Don't tell Merlot. He's gonna think he's an amazing modder and we love him. Right. Well, I haven't really changed my UI apart from my puke color for fatigue, which I might keep. Actually, it might grow on me.
I mean, puke color, yeah.
I think my favorite feature is the minimap. I won't leave it there, but the minimap and the integration of other mods.
Yeah, I believe that's what most people would like, the minimap. That's like, I mean, fair, you could, like you said, you could pin the map in your menu, but I've also like heard from a lot of people either they don't know about it or they just really hate this massive bar around it, which is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I've used this pinnable map myself, like before I made this mod, because the normal minimap is just, I don't know, it's just not good anymore because
It's
it's
true. Like
mostly
it was
tiny.
really, really tiny. The most information you can get from it is, am I facing north?
Yeah, that's what I use it for.
That's pretty much it. Which, you know, served its purpose for a while. Shall we take a look at the inventory mod?
Oh right, yeah, that one. That's one mod I recently fixed the bug with. I haven't pushed yet. Which actually just happened because I was using Linux instead of Windows, so yeah.
The OS of two true programmers, as I understand
I
it.
wouldn't say that. I'm just not fond of Windows anymore. Really, I liked XP a lot. That was like the last one I really liked. So, with Vista and Spaven, I was like, I mean, it still works, you know. And with Windows 10, I was just like, I want this to be gone. So yeah.
I think a lot of people have the XP nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, it also was like that your OS wasn't like actually getting in your way of doing stuff, you know? With Windows 10, it's like I'm leaving my PC on to do something at night. I come back and half my data is shredded because it's not, yeah, it's update time. Fuck you.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
I don't do anything complex, but when there's something that stops working, like what is it? And I go, there might have been a Windows update, and sure enough, it reset a setting, whatever. That's usually it.
Yeah, the quality control also has gone down a lot, I feel like. That's more often not a update rolls out and suddenly something breaks, just simply breaks. And yeah. Yeah, and I could go on about this, but that's not what we're here for.
True. We'll do a special stream debate OS is. OSs. I'm not sure. All right.
Yeah.
Inventory decorator. What is it about? What does it do? And why do we want it?
Yeah, really, I always had a huge issue with Morrowind's inventory, and especially with like some items don't really have clear borders, I would say, and aren't really centered. So more often not, I look at my inventory, I'm just like, where the fuck is this one item? And then it's like barely visible, like a lockpick, for example. Well, or some very dark icon, and you
Cobalt.
just
This one here is
yeah, this one
Cobalt.
is a nightmare. And you just look over and over, and I've just felt it was way easier to separate icons this way. It was really a simple mod, but for me, it did the job. So
It definitely adds clarity, readability, I guess. You can still disable the borders if you don't like them.
yeah, you can configure anything. Like there's also effect icons for potions, like, enchantments, and stuff like that, which probably is what most people would like about this mod, because especially potions are a goddamn nightmare to navigate through. Like before I made this mod, I was always like, go over every individual potion and hope I find this one potion that has my effect. Yeah, so that's not a big problem anymore with this mod.
To be fair, with a Null Cascade UI extension that has a search bar, and with Greatness 7's Alchemy, was it Alchemy filter that? No, Poison, the Poison mod that first added the icons. Once we got these two mods, what did I do? Pleur, I can't type.
Pleur, yeah.
Pleur. It's normal. That's how I type. Wrong.
Yeah, I also used UI expansion for exactly that, but sometimes I just want to see what's available in my inventory right now, what effects do I have, or just want to see it at a glance. That's, well, not possible in vanilla Morrowind, so...
I'm gonna go and buy a bunch of things because my inventory is currently quite empty. Thanks to the Emperor who just left me with my shirt on and nothing else. I'm gonna put my fist away. No point being aggressive. Oh, actually we get a nice selection here.
Oh, yeah, that works.
So we can see with the frames, we can see potions having an effect, not ingredients.
No, I disabled those, or rather didn't include those because there's a lot of stuff that could affect, like there's a ton of mods affecting stuff when ingredient effects are visible. For example, MCP even has an option for that. There's like a chemical knowledge, I believe it's called. That's what I use too.
I love that one.
Yeah, and then it also depends on an alchemy skill, which might be modified by those mods. Yeah, it's just a huge compatibility mess.
Well, again, from the moment you look at the inventory, that's yeah, I like this. I'm also shopping. You can't stop me. Because I look ugly. Thank you. So that was... Okay. Now I'm starting to look stylish. Then what do we have? So I prefer the border. Show background for equipped, bartered. Definitely. That's actually something I struggle with quite a bit. Like, where is my weapon? And it should be easy to see. It's the first column and I just look for it forever.
Yeah, actually, if you disable those backgrounds, you will have your border colored instead. So that's an option.
Like that.
Yeah, you can configure the color, obviously, but that's like default.
I like the enchanted weapon showing the icon as well.
Right, yeah, by default, inventory decorator hides this magic blue swirl behind items. You can obviously turn it off, but I thought like maybe people don't want to see it like I do, so might as well put an option in.
I definitely don't want to see the vanilla one. And I know a lot of people use a very, very bright blue swirl, and it is pretty, but for me it doesn't fit with the brown.
I know exactly which one you
brown
mean.
and puke of my UI.
Yeah, I used that like just a tiny bit before I was like, okay, this clutters my inventory. I can't even tell what item I'm looking at anymore. But yeah, that's like the last config option, right there. Hide vanilla decorators for equipped magic items. If you turn it off, your blue swirls will be back.
That's
I
good.
also have an optional download on my Nexus mod page, which is a texture replacer that will actually remove this blue swirl anywhere. So if you like that, you can do that too. But in that case, you obviously have to back up your files because that's going to override textures.
No, what did I do? Going back. That's not the one. Too many mods, too many things. I want the border. I don't want the background. Let's say show the effect icon for it. That's for enchanted items.
Right, for anything, rings, clothing, weapons, whatever.
Hide vanilla decorator for equipped. Which one is that?
That's the blue magic swirl.
That's what I want to see. Yeah, that's what I want to see to confirm that I really don't want to see it. Check. Confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, like, you already have this icon. If it's on a weapon, it's enchanted. That's it. Like, there's no more need for this huge...
I think it's enough.
Whatever it is.
I don't know. What about you, chat? Swirl or no swirl? Even if it's retextured, like, you prefer the discrete, efficient icon, or you still want the swirl that tells you it's magic?
Yeah, for me personally, I've tried a lot of texture replacers. I even tried making my own, but in the end, I was like, I just don't want this thing anymore. I'm gonna think of something else.
Fair. Now I want my colors to change. So the border, I'm not gonna... They were quite bright though. It's
Oh
much
yeah, for those you're gonna have to
because I put
modify
the
the equipped indicator.
I put the yeah, that was very, very green, especially if I have the background as well. Yeah, if I have the background, I want it to be a little subtle.
Yeah, in that case, you just have to adjust the equipped indicator colors. That should work, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah, I had to take a look at the config options again too. No, background actually, up top. You can select the
There.
alpha property and just reduce that. That should already solve your problem.
When things are equipped, I want them to be bluish. When I'm trading, they can be red, and my effect... Oh, we have different style. Simple and
Oh,
detailed.
yeah, right. Again, yeah, right. Morrowind has like two sets of icons. Mostly, let me think, where are those used? Morrowind also has bigger icons, which normally are used in some parts. I can't recall where exactly.
Yeah, those are
But
too
now you
small.
see those effect icons a little more detailed. Those are actually the high detail icons Morrowind uses in other places. I can't. Where are those again?
But it kind of
Well,
feels smaller, and I feel it defeats the purpose a little bit.
yeah, that's why I've set it to simple, because those aren't smaller, but they are way more detailed, cramped. They aren't made to be this small. But you can also turn up the size, but at
Yeah.
some point, you are just gonna obfuscate your whole item.
Yeah, but that's not bad. Especially for potions, like if you know your magic icons, then maybe you would need it. Alternate enchanted icon. I think I see the one. I'm gonna
Oh yeah, I
double
believe
check.
that's the one I used before I made the switch, right?
Ooh, your link, Danina, didn't work, but that's okay. I know a way to get there.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I've used before. Yeah, I like that one too.
I hope you don't mind caps. There we go. There we go. Yeah. This one that is a little more discreet. And then there's the big,
Yeah.
I'm so magical, I'm in your face. And the one that I like, and I can never find it, it's somewhere in the Morrowind modding history, but for the life of me, I can't find it. And that really is my favorite replacer. Better magic icons? I don't think so.
It might be the one.
Oh.
No. Okay,
No,
that's not the one I use.
Maybe, crap, I haven't used it in a while. If that's the one, I like the fact that it was, again, the palette, the colors matched better with my... I don't think that's the one that I was using though. Because I don't like so much the fact that you can see the border of the icon so much.
Yeah.
But it's more discreet than the others. I like that better.
Like, I feel like this texture replacer might work well with inventory decorator because you have borders.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you don't have borders, it looks really off.
I agree. Better magic icons. Maybe that's the one. Maybe I'll keep it. We'll see. I'm using enchanting icons as you wish right now. As I wish?
No, I believe it's really called enchanting icons as you wish.
And for a second I thought, wow, I am
yeah, I believe I saw
so mighty and powerful that I say use that mode and... But no, that's not how it is.
I've also used one of those before, but those were,
is it on
for
the
my
next?
taste, way too bright.
Oh,
yeah, he posted a link, I believe.
There it is, I got it. Boom. Oh, that's Anora's. Yeah, two. There, I think there was too much. Yeah, I've used that one for a little bit. Because, again, the colors, they go better. So the Daedric one I've used. They're pretty blood. Ooh, that's not magic.
Yeah, I mean, they look fine and all. They look
They're
good.
beautiful.
But it's just too noisy for your inventory. It adds a lot of noise for an inventory that has like very, very, very few pixels per item, I'd say.
32
And
times
this
32.
one takes up like 90% of space.
It is a pretty one, and I know that Lucas, why? Okay, it's not important. Lucas has also something, like he did a recolor of a classic one. Sigur, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I've also tried a lot of those, but at some point I always drop one. And yeah, this one, for example, that was the one I used the longest. But at some point I was like, I don't know, it still bothers me for some reason.
Still too much. I actually recolored that recolor to make it more yellow and fit.
Same here. I just made it a little less. I made it more transparent, which is what I did.
Bottom line, people, if you can't find the proper effect that you like for your enchanted items, you can get the inventory decorator and only have icons. Show borders. I was not seeing my borders. Show backgrounds. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I know it's because I reduced the alpha so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can also change the size of those borders if you want to, which would essentially make the border either smaller or bigger. Yeah. Like thinner or broader. That's the word I was searching for.
Basically, you can do so many things. Right now, my borders are really, really quite thin.
Yeah, you've turned down your alpha a lot.
Oh well. Fun things to do even before you play the game. The game within the game. But that I like very much. There's just so many options. At some point, it's like, it's too many. Seth, just tell me how to play my game already. Just tell me what's the best configuration and I'll use that.
Yeah, that's what I actually first with enemy bars. I had like 4 color presets, like 5: yellow, green, blue, red, gray. I was like, yeah, that's a fair enough set of options that won't like bother users to select. But at some point I thought, well, if someone doesn't like this or is colorblind or stuff like that, it needs to be configurable at some point.
But then even for the user, it's just too much. The equipped weapon still show the enchanted swill behind.
That's right. That's why I added an optional texture replacer, because there's a lot of menus actually where those will get shown, and inventory decorator is made to only affect your inventory menus. So yeah, and at that point you just have to use the texture replacer.
That's the way it is. You've heard it. Whew, already between the NPC bar, the HUD customizer, and the inventory decorator, like seriously, I know it's gonna take me hours to just tweak and fine and try and adjust until I go, yes, this is it.
Yeah, it took me a long time to find like defaults that don't completely clash with Morrowind and still look somewhat new.
Have you shared that with other people?
What exactly?
Like your UI, essentially. Your UI and inventory, what they look like.
Actually, I use mostly the defaults that come with like the only difference is HUD customizer, because I made that so I can adjust my HUD, but I don't want to ship like the default version with a completely different HUD. That's not the point.
I agree. Okay.
But yeah, no, I didn't share any of that, I believe, no. I have a screenshot
Figure
of it,
it
but
out,
that's it.
people. Figure it out. I've made it. I'm disappointed with you, my Bastian. I wish you had better clothes. This is just... yeah, it's a little too vibrant. I'll play with it until it's just perfect.
Get to meet. I actually play the game a lot, so you just met one mod creator.
It is quite rare.
Yeah, it's fair because modding takes up a huge chunk of time. But yeah, I only made mods because stuff started annoying me.
It's horrible when you're like, I want to play the game, but I cannot play the game without insert feature that you think you cannot play without. It's nuts. But it's true. Like if you take massive overhauls of Morrowind, like Morrowind Rebirth, that is possibly, yeah, it is the biggest overhaul. Tamriel Rebuilt is a creation, so it's a different thing. Transmaster, who has been working on Morrowind Rebirth for, I want to say about 50 years, not 15, no? Oh my god. And when I ask him, so how much do you play the game? Never. Never. But like, you've played it. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually use Morrowind Rebirth. I mean, one problem with Morrowind Rebirth is that it's really restrictive in what you could actually add to the game, which is a minus, of course. But Morrowind Rebirth also adds a huge, easy one-to-go package with a lot of fixes and new content, stuff like that, which never really clashes with what Morrowind does. It's just really new, of course. So I really like Morrowind Rebirth, but yeah, I also made a lot of adjustments and fixes for that one, as always.
I get that. Like, I completely understand, like, modding, as in installing mods for Morrowind.
Yeah.
You have to jump through hoops, and it's not like Skyrim where you can go automatic download, install everything, fix everything, play.
Yeah, the thing is, I started like adding small overhauls for this dungeon, and this. But at some point, some mod just suddenly added something of this cell and this of this, and you just get this huge mess. And it's impossible to avoid.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
Yeah, so I
you
was like,
have
okay,
to
I'm gonna take
check.
Morrowind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna take. Sorry. Okay. At some point, I was like, I'm gonna take Rebirth as a base and just build on top of that. If it's not compatible, well, tough luck. I can't use like OAB Gracelands or stuff like that, which looks really amazing and stuff. But if it's just gonna be a compatibility nightmare, I was just no. I'm gonna take like 90% overhaul, which isn't of that quality, but still good, and gonna just nope out of like OAB Gracelands, for example.
Which you would have to adjust, but you can. I get that.
Yeah, which would really be a huge chunk of work because Rebirth also has a lot of landscape edits, and at that point you're just yeah.
Like, Rebirth is a little bit like 4NM in the way that it is a mod that is conceived as a complete overhaul of the game. It is suppose it's like you're supposed to only have that one, basically. That's it. So it's not done in the way like, oh, I'm gonna have to be careful. I think that there's that other popular mod that changes that, so I need a patch for this. No, that's not what it is. And yeah.
Well, I did use a lot of mods with it, which were perfectly fine, even without compatibility patches. But yeah, it's a hell.
And the thing is, if you want to heavily mod Morrowind, you kind of need to know what you're doing. Like, you need to learn to use MO2, Rymash, and or like a number of tools. Once you know it, then it's fine. A lot of people can then install many mods as long as you do it right. And with Rebirth, it's one mod. You can select a few optional files that are already bundled in it, and you're good to go. It's Morrowind, but it looks different. It's a fresher look. You see a few new items, a few new creatures, a few new dungeons, and you go, that's cool.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy MWSE so much, because you can do a lot of compatibility fixes even for content-heavy mods, which would normally cause really huge problems. Take Ash, for example. Like those branches next to trees which get added, that would just be impossible. without MWSE.
Yeah.
That's why I mainly make those mods.
Well, MWSE and Lua are amazing tools for people who know, oh, yes, I see when I change the cell, sorry, I'm going from one thing to another. I do have the name of the cells on the top of my screen. Come on, Pelagia, here we go.
Yeah. That's one of the few changes of HUD Customizer, that it displays this on top.
Which you see, if you use the pinned minimap, you have the name of the cell already.
That's fair.
So I've removed it now because it's and you can move that element as well, of course. Of course. I'm a big fan
And you can
of,
hide it if you want.
Yeah, like everything. Move it, resize it, hide it. Not recolor it though. I'm a big fan of scripted solution myself, so I second that. Me too. I can't produce the solutions, but I can point at the problems well enough. Play for 5 minutes.
That's fair. I'm totally crap when it comes to cell editing. Like, it takes me ages to do the most basic shit. Like for Soul Battle, for example, I did this little battle cell. That took me, like, I believe, 80% of the time because I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
The construction set is yeah, it takes time to learn it a little bit. Denina had a question.
Yeah, I can already tell you why. Memory Monitor has a config file, not an option menu, which configures a threshold which Memory Monitor is visible, which means by default, I believe it's 70% memory or something. So that means if your RAM is like 70% full, only then it will show. Let me actually check which file you have to edit for this. Let me quickly download Memory Monitor and.
Okay, I know that Memory Monitor at first only had a config file, and you would have to change things in there. But now it has a menu.
Oh, it has.
Hang on.
Am I actually blind?
Maybe not. Didn't I see one?
I don't know. I don't see any. Let me see.
Like,
Memory Monitor has a config file under your MWSE config folder, which is called memorymonitor.json, which you could open in Notepad, for example. And that has a line called visible threshold 0.5. So that means when your memory is 50% full, only then your memory monitor bar will be visible. Why it's visible in HUD Customizer is because I basically forced this element to be visible with anything that's in my power, so it can't resist being visible.
Can't resist. I commend thee. You were talking about Soul Battle, so I am going to Balmora. No, I am going to Sadrith Mora.
Yeah, I mean, you could basically do it anywhere, but you probably need a soul index first.
Exactly. And I get that from a Telvanni, right?
Right, you can kill anyone, basically. Or, well, buy one.
Kill anyone? That's very, very Telvanni.
Yeah, it's just fair. I mean, I still have to push my update for that one, which has a few fixes and also gives you a soul index when you join Telvanni. But as always, it's a work in progress.
The console is now closed. Sorry, I forgot about it. We don't want anyone feeling bad with anything associated with Morrowind. So the index, I don't have to kill someone to get one, right?
Right. There's like some merchant right in Cedrus Mora somewhere in a stand to the left, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is a general merchant, and those normally sell soul indexes, so she should be coming up.
Yep, there she is. Look at that. She's even carrying a little pouch. Barter.
Oh.
That looks like it.
Yeah, there is one.
Now, obviously, we've already talked about it, but some people might not have been here when we did the Mod Jam reviews.
Hmm.
So we'll do it again, but maybe a little quicker.
That's fair.
We don't have 5 hours. All right, the soul index looks like this, and it is currently empty. We need to fill it with souls. Normally, you will go buy your soul gem, get your soul trap spell, and what do I want?
Probably Golden Saints, Vivek or something. Oh, Ghost, yeah, that works too, which is probably a lot more realistic.
Yeah, like I want to have different things. There's a
You can-
guardian.
I mean, a dead caravan Goa sounds like a great addition.
Like, great battle ahead. So you need a couple of soul gems filled with a soul. And so here they are. And then I think it was like this. Yes. I want to insert a soul. I'm sorry, you were a unique person. So now I have lost a soul gem. However, I now have a new creature ready to fight for me. I don't remember. Do you have to have 3 of them, or you can fight with a single one?
You don't. You can fight with a single one, but enemies currently will always have 3, which is something I'm also working on. But yeah, if you fight like low-level enemies that have, I don't know, 3 Goors, for example, that's not going to be a problem for a Golden Saint.
Well, I'm gonna get Rolly the Guar to fight for me. Rolly is great.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. You want to do a soul battle? This adding elements to that menu is also something new that we've seen with the more recent MWSE. Very neat.
I believe you could do that for a, well, fairly long time, I say. Not that long, but it's just that no one ever did it because the UI stuff was very badly documented.
I like the first mod I remember to do that was Give a Gift by Null Cascade.
Yeah, probably that one.
And that was already the nightly build of MWSE. I have selected my soul index, and now we go to the cell that took you most of the time to create.
Yeah, actually, this cell really only is the Tavani Council Hall copied and pasted and edited a little bit.
No, Rolly's dead. Come on, guardian of something.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. 2 Blood Moon creatures and a, well.
Of course, I was fighting against a Durzog, like basically against Tribunal and Blood Moon creature.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna remove them for the next version from the normal pool. You can still enable them if you want to, but in a future update, by default, Blood Moon and Tribunal creatures will be disabled because they might have the level set to like 10 or 15,
but their
but they're real.
stats.
Yeah, that's a totally busted for level 10 to 15.
If people have Mort's mod of Blood Moon and Tribunal rebalance, do they get the creatures rebalanced, or?
They get the creatures rebalanced. I just grab the creature like yeah, edit it with any mod, and it's gonna be right there.
Okay. Alright. So now that I've lost a fight, a little bit like in Pokemon, I have lost one of my creature, and it's Rolly. She took Rolly from me. Which is very disappointing. We'll go again. But this time, I'm gonna cheat better.
So you're gonna go and get Vivek, yeah?
I think we'll take ourselves a little Vivek, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that should be enough.
I mean, if Vivek can't win, then
yeah, then we're gonna
my faith will be shattered quite badly. I also had a 10 Guar, but I got a feeling. Oh, soul capacity 1000 out of 600. That soul gem is ready to go. All right. My Draugr, Barrowguard, I forgot which one that was, and Vivek. Lady, you and me again. Now that you told me that creating the cell was not fun for you, I suppose having different cells depending on where you want to do the battle, like different stages, like in Street Fighter, not an option.
It's still in my to-do, but it's gonna take some time, really.
Go, Vivek! Sorry.
Yeah, some friendly fire going on. I mean, yeah, it's still in my to-do list, but that's like the lowest priority issue I have with Soul Battle. There's like a lot of like small balancing issues I have to address. There's like lore integration, all that sort of stuff that really needs to get done first.
Now I won. I get a soul gem with a hunger because I defeated a hunger. But I still have my 3 strong creatures in my soul index.
Right.
Yes. So we have, yeah.
You could also use like, which we probably get to next, one of my other mods for NPC soul trapping, which would also work with Soul Battle.
Do I have it?
Yeah,
I must have it. Yes, NPC soul trapping, of course. Which we we didn't talk about together, but you were in the chat when I was testing it.
Yeah.
And this is how I learned the hard way that if you want to soul trap an NPC, you cannot cheat kill them. You have to kill them for real. So I could soul trap NPCs and then use them for my soul battle.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's do that, because that I haven't done yet. So I'm gonna get myself a couple of soul gems. Basic ones this time, yeah?
Yeah, you could just have...
I want black soul gems, black soul gems.
You can also take grand soul gems and just disable that black soul gems are needed. That's an option too.
I have OAAB, so that should be fine.
Yeah, alright, that's fine.
And I am already a god, so that's good. I won't die soul trapping people. I am, however, crap at casting spells, so... No. What is the name of the amulet?
I believe Soul Catcher or something like that.
Soul Drinker, maybe. Pinch. No.
I mean, I believe Soul Drinker was that dagger that has Soul Trap on it, so that might work too.
You can see that icon that pops nicely.
Yeah. Now you just need to set short blade to 100 and you're set.
Yeah, that's good. Because I probably will miss anyway.
Yeah, a lot.
Because this is Morrowind, and you like to move your weapon about. This is a short blade. Make me a god of short blade. It's bad news for you, Telvanni god.
300 seems fair.
I will resist you. Well, I'm still resisting me quite a lot.
Yeah, Telvanni gods are really powerful.
Damn, I should have gone for Fargoth.
I don't think he's gonna put up much of a fight in a soul battle.
The god or Fargoth?
Fargoth.
Ah, okay. And I now have a Telvanni god.
He should be in a black soul gem right now.
Yeah,
there he is.
yeah, it's there. Can I remove my guardian?
Yeah, you
or
can override
just
one.
replace. There we go. So now I have a god. Let's find. Oh, I know what to do. Oh, will be good. This will be so good. I just need to kill 2 more guards here.
Oh, I see.
Oh no! Oh crap! You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to soul trap 3 Telvanni guards and then fight against 3 Hlalu guards, but I can't do that. Yet.
No, so right now those aren't set up to actually contain any sapient races. I have thought about like some mod interop for NPC soul trapping and soul battle, and that Telvanni members might actually sometimes have trapped guards or something like that for everyone else, that probably doesn't make a lot of sense.
I got the slaver as well. Oh, go away, people. Go away. Can't tell if I killed the second god. It's too messy. Bye. 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 Everybody, bye. Okay, enough people. I can only do I can do soul battles with anyone, not just Telvannis, right?
Right, you can. I believe you also already have that enabled, because I saw that option at a Imperial Guard just before. Let's double check.
Required yes. Azurized Black Soul Gem, definitely. The value, the loot, the level.
Oh wait, we need to look at soul battle, not at NPC soul trapping. Yeah, no worries. I was looking at NPC soul trapping too,
No,
and was looking for this option.
Not limited to Telvanni. Everybody
You
can
could
play.
you could also fight against Fargus, which has a special fight attached to him. So
Oh,
that's an option.
Okay.
Yeah, I have like 2 NPCs with special fights set up right now, which are, well, not exactly meant to be taken seriously, which are Fargus and Sphere.
Okay.
So those would probably make for some more interesting battles.
Ooh, the weather. The weather's ugly. Welcome to Seidanin.
If I can help, I will, but don't take too much
Ah,
time.
there he is.
It won't take long, Fargos. I don't think. Why, he really hates me. 10! It might be because I've murdered a bunch of people. So, Fargos, what do you have? A Fargos, another Fargos, and a fine old Fargos. I don't think... I don't know. And they're just fleeing.
Yeah, that's great.
Why must you people always
Well,
pick
I
on the
mean,
small ones?
I just had to.
I won the battle, but he didn't give me a Fargoth soul. I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I had that in when I made it, but had to prevent that because without NPC soul trapping, human souls have no value and will completely bug out. That's just not an option.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Telvanni Guard, and my third one is gonna be the Slaver. That's right. No, I'm keeping Vivek. Vivek is too strong. Because we're gonna go and see what Sphere has for us. Now I really hope you're going to add all kinds of special fights, maybe tiers, like you have to have won X number of battles before you can battle against Sphere.
That was like on my wish list, but I really was unable, A, to get it done in time, and B, it really requires a lot of other stuff set up before, because you don't just want any random guy to have certain battles. It needs to be set up in a way, maybe with a quest line even, like, I don't know, Telvanni Grand Championship for Pokemon or something. And that was just not an option. I already struggled getting this done at all.
I mean, the fact that you pull this off in a weekend, because that's people, I think most people here know, but Soul Battle was a mod jam mod, so it was made in 48 hours.
Well, more like 24, because I started with something else and realized, well, this isn't working.
Oh!
Yeah, well, hey, that's not gonna work.
That sucks for Telvanni guards. No, my Vivek is paralyzed. Come on, Telvanni guards.
Well, if you're lucky, we will just time out. Because these guys really take a beating.
My strongest guy is just chilling there, like, if I don't move, they won't see me. Go on, go Vivek. Show other Vivek. I'm quite happy that Dagoth Or is like, whatever, this is not what are they doing?
Actually, yeah, I believe they.
Ha!
Yeah, probably the whole NPC thing isn't that well integrated yet. I only adjusted it for creatures, obviously. There's probably some faction relationship going on right now that I
Oh.
obviously need to force when NPCs finally get added to Soul Battle. So yeah, I mean, at least we found an issue.
I didn't lose against the Biosphere, so that's definitely a win.
Yeah.
And the
I mean, to be fair,
Biosphere...
I never listed those mods to be compatible. They kinda work.
Kinda. I was gonna say, the Biosphere, you cheat. There's no way you got Vivek's soul. It's not possible, because I already have it. Let's
The
just...
to-do list for all these mods sound more like a to-do notebook. Yeah. Yeah, it's for every mod it's like 10 to 20 lines at least. You aren't wrong.
And I mean, I don't know how it is with coding, but even if it's just a few lines, that's such a small portion of updating the mod. Because like writing the lines is fine. Whoa! You can't hear it, Seth, but Merlord just arrived.
Oh, alright.
He plays that obnoxious music every time he comes in. It's just... Hello, Merlord. Welcome back.
Hello.
So we'll have to wait to be able to truly battle with NPCs.
Yeah, that's just... I mean, I made NPC soul trapping after I made Soul Battle, so... You can use them, but it's gonna cause some issues with faction relations and stuff like that. Especially for Telvanni, because those had odd relations with other creatures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And some guards are just dead set on killing undead. Like, for example, Imperial Guards, if you have someone in your party, like a skeleton, they will maybe go attack the enemy first, but after a few seconds they are just like, no, I don't really like the skeleton on my side, and go pummel it.
Yeah. Why not? Keep things interesting.
I mean, fair.
Now I remember what I was trying to say before Merlord rudely interrupted me. Yeah, the actual fix of a mod or a new feature in a mod might not be hard to implement, but it's all the testing,
Yeah.
putting the archive, uploading on the Nexus, putting the description, and that takes way more time than the fix, very often. And
Yeah, for me, the most part always is testing, because I tend to, I would say, over-test my stuff. I'm almost paranoid that something breaks sometimes. And therefore I make like a tiny change and I test it like 1 hour straight, just with different mods and stuff like that. Maybe sometimes I even start looking in Nexus, is there a mod that might conflict with this and stuff like that. I can't get everything, but so far I believe I've caught most of the bugs.
so far, but then you'll add new features, and with
Yeah,
new
that's the
features,
issue.
new issues can arrive. I haven't tried the guar petting just yet.
Yeah, that was just a silly mod, really. Like, originally this
There's
mod really
nothing silly about petting a guar.
Yeah, well, you can configure it so you could pet Fargus instead. And
What
make him release
is-
Golden Saint modes.
What is it
So-
with Fargos?
Yeah, this mod really only started because my wife really liked Guars, and so I just really made a maybe 8-line mod with like, you press E, Guar makes sound, is happy, stuff like that. And
And
I
it-
was, that's not enough for mod. Let's make a shitpost, and yeah.
The important part, obviously, is to know that the guar loves you for that. So the message is everything. What do I want to do? Pelagiad. There's a guar waiting for me over there. Don't worry, if there are bugs, then I will find them on stream usually. And the fun part is I find the bugs because I don't play the mod properly. Like I try something stupid that you didn't think about.
I mean, there's no proper way to play a mod. It has to work, or else the mod is just not working.
True. Alright, here's a guar. There, happy. Now I kind of
Yeah,
have to go
what a
and
great
pet
mod.
Fargoth. I like it. I would add that you have to ready your spell for it to work.
Oh, I see, yeah. Someone also asked for animations, but I was like, I mean, I see what you're saying, but this really only is like the tiniest shitpost mod I could think of, so take it for what it is.
There. There might be... No, it should work with the Guar Whisperer, because it does not prevent
No, it does not prevent dialogue
other
from
things
opening.
from happening, yeah, but...
Yeah, it has like a whitelist that you can configure, which Guars, well, are Guars, which could also be
You're
any
a Guar.
NPC.
You're a Guar.
It could actually also be a longsword if you want. So every time you interact with a longsword and pick it up, it makes Guar noises and says that it loves you. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea why I did it, but it's... Yeah, even doors, you can do anything. It's really just stupid. You have to filter to NPCs, yeah.
There's
I believe in
so many
Fargoth,
clones of Fargoth already.
Yeah, you just have to select the first one. Yeah. So in this case, I believe the dialogue menu will still open, but he will make his Gua noise.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, isn't it? It's even more disturbing if you set the sound to Golden Saint modes. That's yeah, that's where the stuff starts
hang
getting
on.
creeping.
Where did I miss that option? Guar
Um,
petting.
Yeah,
I
right now you
haven't
have to type in the sound, the last option, under settings.
And
that-
like change that?
No, the very bottom. You have to edit the sound field. I have no idea what the ID for the Golden
Oh, I
Saint sound
see.
is.
I
It
see.
might be Golden space Saint space moan, but I'm not sure. Maybe.
Having to know the exact ID for the sound is going to be a little tricky. Which is
Yeah, you can
probably...
just look in the construction set, but yeah, I get
No,
it.
I broke. Nah.
No, it's not Golden Saint Moon, okay. It's
Oh.
something else.
Or nothing at all, but that's fine. I don't think we wanted
Yeah.
to go there. Just, even without the sound, every time you talk to Fargoth likes you.
Yeah, that's creepy enough.
Not that.
I wish to be left
Oh yeah, that's a
Yes,
lie.
I shall leave you alone, Fargoth.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't interact with an animal, then a game is automatically 0 out of 10. We're good with Morrowind. You can pet the guars. You could... I mean, you can transform that in any pet mod you want, basically.
Yeah, you could just honestly add every creature and just disable the sound. And
Because
that
me, for
will
example,
basically be that.
I really, really, really like the little butt thumpers.
Ah, scripts, yeah.
Scripts, thank you. That is terrible. But you see, I don't care about the guars. I only want scripts. The problem is, let's hope that the sound is scrape moan. Otherwise...
Yes. Cool, I have no idea. Maybe scream? Oh, no, I have no idea, really.
No, I don't want it to go every time I'm trying to pet the thing, like, get off me! Big meanie. I do care about guars, but right now I want to try petting a squib. So I'm looking for a squib. I'm level 1. There should be squibs around. Probably hiding in the grass. It's a rat and next sound.
I believe there's one to the road heading to Balmora. There should be a script.
Piss off, rat.
Oh, there's one, yeah. Did it ready? I don't believe it.
Yeah, it goes ee. Like I can bump the... audio effect is already at the maximum. So I don't know if you guys could hear it.
Might actually not be the right sound IDs. Who knows?
No, it is. It's the little...
It is? Okay.
Oh, and it's butt thumping for me. Good boy. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody also mentioned, like, can you do this for scripts, but with the animation? I mean, yeah, but this
Sure.
really was like a 5-minute mod. It's, yeah. Like the most time I spent with making sure that weapons and doors also make moaning noises. It's, yeah, it's not really a great mod.
It's a fun little mod. Especially if you just want to like set it up to something silly. Like every time you talk to Caius Cosatus and you select any of the audio files, like the Nord sound when they're dying and they go,
Yeah, that's like what you could do.
you
but
can
there's no
have fun with
practical
it.
use.
Yeah, just have fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, it's really just that because my wife really likes Guars, and that's it. That's why this mod exists.
And you didn't tell her I know the perfect Guar mod. It's called the Guar Whisperer.
I mean, yes, but it has too many problems for our taste. Like, there's a lot of small issues and bugs. Like, fair, it's really complex, but that's stuff I don't take into my installation. It has to work perfectly, or it doesn't get into my installation.
You heard it, my lord. But you know you can play fetch with the Guar, right?
Yeah, I know, that was really, really tempting.
Like, I like to have lots of mods, and I know that at some point my game will crash, probably. But I've come to the point where I'm like, you know what? That mod is worth the occasional crash. Or the occasional issue. And I quite like it when a mod does something very stupid and unexpected. It's usually quite fun, and then you can
Yeah, sometimes it's fun, yeah.
you go with it and you go, that's how it is. That's how it is. We've learned something about the lore. Is something attacking me? What?
Oh, yeah, you still have a really high bounty, I believe,
Yes. Go away, God. Boo, boo, boo. There we go.
right? I'm gonna be right back. I need to head to the toilet real quick.
No problem.
Alright.
To be fair, I think we've looked at most of the mods. Guys, you have a few minutes to think about questions for Seth or mod suggestions, because he clearly has too much time on his hands and doesn't make enough mods. Everyone likes Guars, even those who don't know they exist. I have to say Guars are pretty cute, and I know some people will be disappointed, but the little Guars in Elder Scrolls Online, the ones that are sleeping and dreaming and running in their dreams, they're just adorable. I really, really like those. They're even cuter than those in Morrowind. We don't have baby Guars in Morrowind. Mod idea for anyone who knows how to animate, of course. You make such funny and kind of niche mods. I know, all I know, and that I need a petting mod. There's actually, like, depending on how many features you want, let's not talk about petting Fargoths anymore, please. But there's the number of mods that will let you pet the mods. Pet the mods, oh my god, guys! Just send me coffee or a brain, something. There's a couple of mods that are going to let you pet creatures. There is the one quite complex, and now I can't remember them. Yeah, I know. No, not petting Fargoth. There is a doctor
Alright.
something. Yes. We were looking at more complex mods. There is Feedbag, where you can feed creatures, and if you feed them long enough,
yeah. I
then
believe I've seen that one.
they like you. This one is quite nice, and there is a similar one by... crap, I can't remember. Prof. Prof, if you're around, tell me which one is the other mod where you can feed creatures, and I believe it needed a little patch so that it's compatible with the Guar Whisperer as well. Can't remember it. But feedback is one where they like you, and the other one was the same idea. Like as you feed creatures, their fight rating goes down. I tried feedback, but it did not work right with creature added by mods. I am not. Oh, this is so cute.
Let me just check real quick. It probably has a whitelist of creatures, I assume.
Feed the Animals by Red Furry Demon is the other one. I did test feedback, but not with modded creatures. Yes, thank you, Prof. I did get there. And Feed the Animals has a blacklist that I remember. Which one are you checking?
Right now I'm checking feedback to see what the issue might be. Let's see, feed probably a lot of small files. Let me check real quick. Probably under check, right?
Features might be just added to the config file if there's not something in-game. The illustration is very cute. That's important.
System. Yeah, a keyword system might be really nice. I've thought about making a mod for that, which would be incredibly easy to do, but the problem is filling in all this data for all those mods that have already been created. Like
I can help with that. Like I'm good with the long and tedious things that just take time.
Oh, that's a really long task.
Knowing mod. Do you want what sort of what do you need?
Like for example, he's talking about the tagging system. Like the later Elder Scrolls systems have a tagging system of sort. Like for something you can attach something like I don't know, cave or something to an entrance, or what kind of creature
that mod
type
exists
it is.
Also.
No, it doesn't exist. That's like core functionality of later Elder Scrolls titles. And in Morrowind, we have like no data at all on weapons, monsters, whatever, that really identifies what you're dealing with. Like I believe the only thing you can like differentiate is if a creature is like immune to weapons or is a Daedra. But if you like want to know if it's like a small creature, a critter, there's no data to go along.
I see.
Or for weapons, like we talked about it briefly for my bartering restrictions mod, which you asked for. For material of weapons, for example. Like there might be glass, maces, long swords, etc. But there's absolutely zero data indicating material. It's just you select a mesh, you select an icon, you give a name, and that's the item. You have no idea what kind of material this is actually supposed to be.
Yeah, but that's like if someone was willing and had years, it would have to be like a whole library created that's
I mean, for vanilla items, that's actually not too much work. But having all those mods that have been created for 20 years, that's just too much.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a mod. There was a mod that did some armor rebalancing, and the way it did it
was by checking meshes, I believe.
Yes, the ID and the mesh as well.
Yeah, that's just band-aid fixes.
Exactly. It's.
I mean, it's a good attempt and all. It fixes a lot of issues, but in the end of the day, if you have like a mod that gives some specific glass mace that's unique, a unique mesh or something, and maybe you have a mesh replacer, maybe you have something that changes names, it's not safe at all.
Yeah, it's not gonna catch
I don't really like making something that's based on guesswork. and not clear data.
Fair, fair. A shame. I would love to see things like in Daggerfall, where you could at the beginning, you know, when you created your character, you could take advantages and disadvantages, like can't wear leather, can't use orcish, things like that. And with a vanilla game, we could do that in Morrowind quite easily, but considering mods and all the equipment added, but I would really like to see something where that's it. Like, I want to play a druid. Okay, that's where it comes from. I want to play a druid, and as a druid, you do not want metal at all. Or if you play as a dwarf, you don't want leather or wood, something like that. But we don't have that mod, and even if we had it, it wouldn't work with other mods out of the box.
It would need to depend on a whole lot of data, which some poor guy would have to do. I'm not gonna do it. It's like, it's a huge chunk of work. Like, just making this framework where you could potentially enter this data is really, nothing's easier than that. That's like maybe 50, 60 lines for a simple little config menu. But then you have like one file which has thousands, if not 10,000 of entries with different data for different types. That just, nah, not gonna happen, I believe.
Yeah. Like, and would it be possible to have the program that scans for the ID, the mesh, the texture, the icon to find those keywords if they're there?
And then, that would be possible.
And then leave a blank where it doesn't find anything, and those would have to be looked up manually or
yeah, that's a fair idea, but we also get some other issues that are with that. For one, false positives. The second one is a lot of mods that add like new types of weapons. For example, I don't know, glass long. I don't know what kind of glass weapons are missing. For example, a glass warhammer. I believe. No, that exists. Damn. Well, never mind. Some glass weapon that doesn't exist.
A non-glass weapon that is not in the game yet.
Yeah, and for example, that's a uniquely named weapon and has a new mesh. Now we immediately have a problem that won't get caught. If you have other uniques, it's a problem. If you go for ID, you can totally ignore IDs because modders have proven to don't care about any conventions that are being used.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to do.
Not even I do. I normally do my IDs by naming it item dot and then what the normal ID would be, because I don't know who in Bethesda thought that having the same ID for different types would be a problem. Like, you could have a weapon which is called which has an ID test. And have a creature with an ID test, and that would conflict. Like, why? That makes no sense. That's like one of the issues.
Yeah, no, I get that. And it's true that modders, even if they are consistent with their names, they're gonna have their own system. The only exceptions to that are the Tamriel rebuild, because they had to agree on a naming convention. And OAAV as well. No Melchior has a very neat document with all of that. So ideally, maybe modders could start using that system as well. But
yeah, I see a point being made by Kagan that obviously, we could put out such a mod, and then mod users or users would just share the files. But in the end of the day, we are pretty late in a huge modding lifecycle of a game, and integrating a fundamental change or addition like that is, well, let's just say very unlikely that this kind of data will ever get added to be usable in any fashion besides vanilla.
Unfortunately.
Or maybe the major mods too. That could work too. I see that happening, but like 99% of smaller mods, that's not gonna happen.
Unfortunately. I'm so lucky. Somebody wants me to be famous, guys. Hey, wait a second, I have to go and click a link.
What a great bot.
Well, I'm gonna say that's beside the point. You know what that reminds me? That reminds me of mlogs, which is a great tool to sort your load order, but it relies on. I mean, when it was created, was it John Monsugar that created the tool originally? And then Dragon went through hundreds of readmes from mods and then added the rules to the file. So they did that, and that was a huge undertaking. I think Mlox has been around for at least 10 years, but then it was already a huge undertaking. And then it was relying on either somebody downloading every single mod and going through the readme, assuming that the modder would write any rules about compatibility and word order, a load order, which is not always the case, or even better, modders saying, hey, I've made that mod, it needs to be loaded after that other mod, put the rule. And that never happened.
Yeah. And to be fair, Mlox is like, it tries to target a core issue which like annoys pretty much every user. That's like getting compatibility and making users go for, and use that is much easier than having like a tag system of sorts that users don't know what to do with. They just know that they need it. And getting that off the ground could be possible, but honestly, at that point, that would almost become a day job, just getting this thing supported and integrating all those mods. It's like, it's a huge undertaking. You could generate some data procedurally, but at the end of the day, you probably are just gonna shoot yourself in the foot with that because of false positives, missing entries, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, like I'm editing the document. I mean, I decided that it had to be updated, but I can't do it. So I talked with Random Pal, because, you know, with Beautiful Cities of Morrowind, he's got so many patches going on that
Yeah.
you need to have rules for Beautiful Cities of Morrowind. So Random Pal has added plenty of rules only by working on Beautiful Cities of Morrowind, and you know, he had to check for compatibility with other mods, create patches and everything. And then I added also a lot of rules when I was working on wares and friends and foes, because these are mods that are going to modify or change on containers, NPCs, traders and everything. So same thing, Lord Order was super important. So between the two of us, we've added quite a lot of rules. But occasionally somebody says, hey, I've tested those two mods and it says this in the readme, it should be there, there's no rule, and we add it, but it's really, really quite rare.
Yeah, I get that. Beautiful Cities of Morrowind and also Friends and Foes are two mods I would really like to use, but for one, I'm using Morrowind Rebirth, so compatibility is already out of the window. And next point being, I'm almost forced to do nothing else with cities or edit pathways, stuff like that, because I could just clip some random NPC. That's like, I mean, there's no other way in Morrowind, don't get me wrong, but it's just a huge compatibility nightmare. I mean, I don't even want to imagine working on something like that. Users just posting 24/7 about some compatibility issue. That sounds like a lot of work.
For Beautiful Cities of Morrowind, definitely. There's so many things.
Yeah.
And even like, I was looking at Beautiful Cities of Morrowind, and obviously it edits the cities and some of the interiors, but it also edits some of the dungeons and like little things, because one of the mod that was incorporated did something there. So
Oh yeah, that's a problem. I feel.
and then to check for compatibility, that when we were talking about Morrowind Rebirth, like, you know, boom, it's done. But then if you have multiple mods, that multiple extra dungeons and things, and especially when you're installing a city overhaul, so you might not expect, like, you might not check.
Yeah, that's what I really don't like it when mods do that. Have a clear description of what you're doing, try to be as small as possible, but don't just edit random data That has nothing to do with your mod. Debugging that and finding your issue is just gonna be a nightmare.
It really, really is. And checking
Yeah.
for cell conflicts is really, really not great. There is the old plugin conflict detector mod that is
Yeah.
going to detect landscape editing. So this mod has had the landscape edited and that one too. And then to find out the issue, you'll have to load the two mods and go to the cell in the construction set and sort of look around, say there's got to be a lantern somewhere, and maybe you find it. Hopefully it's big enough that you see it. So
Yeah.
troubleshooting that, not hard, so long. And the other one is test 3 view, but it's only
Yeah, I know that one.
it's just going to say, well, these two cells are edited. And then you go, okay, can I move something? It edits? No, you cannot, because it's only test 3 views. Compatibility
grass mods.
is, yeah.
And to be fair, for grass mods, you can at least, there's like a tool that will automatically generate like grass layout for your current ESPs, which works like for 95% of the landmass. There's like sometimes some odd clipping going on, but I found it to be working relatively well if it doesn't crash while generating, which happens like 9 out of 10 times. But
Again, it's an issue of working out the tool,
yeah.
because it's not that easy. I don't think there's a... No, people, I don't
Holy
want to
moly,
be
again.
famous. I must be looking really desperate. Look, I am talking, not even playing. I'm talking about a 20-year-old mod. Not here to be famous, clearly. I don't know. Depending on... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's super that cell edits especially are so really hard to get compatibility done for, because, well, let's be fair, most interesting content obviously has to edit cells. If it only edits containers and stuff like that, the worst you could get is like a leveled list error, or maybe somewhat overwriting what another one does, which might not always be like a real problem. But for cell edits, like you might have Fargo stuck in a tree, some guy is screaming N-War from under the earth, stuff like that.
It's so hard to troubleshoot. And then obviously the biggest error and temptation, I guess, is to install 20, 30, 50 mods. And then you go, okay, let's find out about compatibility. And then whatever you look at, you have a list, that's 10 times bigger than your screen. And it's like, so normally you should go unzip a mod, check what MO2 has to say or Rymash has to say about possible conflict. Look at the mods with different tools and then fix if there's an incompatibility, and then go in the game and make sure it works, and then go for every single mod. But who does that? The only person who does that is...
I actually do that.
You do? How many mods do you have though?
For ESPs, it's actually fairly minimal, maybe about 30 to 40, because each time I download one of those, first thing I'm doing is construction set, look which kind of cell is edited, which creature, which whatever, and if I see a cell being edited heavily, and I already have one that does that, I'm just, no, that's not gonna happen, and I'm just gonna drop that mod. Even if I would like it, I'm not gonna drop the other one. So, yeah.
40 mods, you can do it. When you have 600 to 800, like some people I know.
Yeah, at that point you already have conflicts, you just don't know it.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is. Like it would take me a month or two to install my game. Like no kidding, because I go over the list of mods that I already have. I eliminate a handful of them, and then I look at what new mods we have, and I add, quite a few. And then I install. That takes forever, and I try to fix as I install, and then I play the game and I say, guys, this is a new mod list, so we are testing. But really, I do find some issues sometimes, but the game is so huge that I can play the game for hours on and never find out about a particular conflict.
Yeah, that's why I'm always checking like cell IDs, container IDs, stuff like that, and if I see anything that I remember, some other mod editing, well, if I remembered, it's just, no, sorry, you're not going in. But yeah, that's just
You're
a
a
huge time sink.
tough customer.
Mm-hmm.
So out of your 40 mods, which ones could you never, ever, ever play without?
Oh, for my ESP mods, let me check. I could probably do without all of them. Oh goddamn, I don't have Morrowind on this installation right now. God damn it. Yeah, I haven't moved Morrowind to this disk right now. But let me think. What kind of content do I have?
Actually, what kind of content do you have? Do you go for graphic overhaul, improvement of the looks, or is it quest? Is it gameplay?
Well, the most important stuff for me is bug fixes, balance issues, stuff like that. Because, well, I like to play the game, and if I'm presented with like 45 attribute, which gets abused to hell and back, or rather is abusable, that's just the point where I could play the game normally, or I just spend 3 seconds and be invulnerable. Yeah, that's stuff I mainly look out for. Graphical replacers, of course. But even with those, you have to be careful because sometimes you just have these huge artistic style clashes. I'm actually fairly light on content mods. Like, besides Morrowind Rebirth, that's like the one huge thing I have. Which is also the main reason why I don't go for content mods, because inevitably, I might just set myself up for any issues with that.
No, clearly.
Yeah, for me, it's just mostly small utility mods, stuff that's unlikely to cause issues.
Fair, fair. I see Glisp said 300 plugins and master files. It's not bad. Okay, let's do this. I
Holy.
think we've looked at most mods. So if I do quit Morrowind, close this Rymash, go out of Morrowind Showcase and go to Morrowind Perma, because obviously we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different versions of Morrowind installed on the game. Installed on the game? Oh, please, somebody put me out of my misery.
Yeah, I only have 4, so that's fair.
Gosh. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I haven't been streaming as much and I'm not used to talking as much. I don't know. Maybe it's because I ran out of coffee an hour ago. Who knows? Who knows? All right, launching my old, not my old, it's my current permadeath install, but I haven't maintained it in 3 months. So, so we'll see how it is. I just want to show you the list of mods. There's a lot of data to load, so it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. I mean, for MWSE mods, I have a much higher quota just installing MWSE mods, and those actually at least somewhat working and only need a little bit of work to fully work. But that's just because most of those are not actually content mods, which are just, well, that's where conflicts happen. The other ones can mostly be fixed by just editing a line or two, or maybe just rewriting a block of code, which is
so easy. Like I do that with my eyes closed.
I mean, some people just edit cells like it's nothing. For me, it's like operating, I don't know, some rocket control center. It's like I don't get the goddamn construction set. That's the word. For me, that's just how to operate.
Whereas for me to build a cell in the construction set is like easy enough. Mod config, Abbott modlist. There it is. So
yeah, like Surgeon Simulator.
My
placing stuff is horrible.
ESPs.
Holy crap!
Oh, there we are. There we are. I am at 586 ESPs.
Oh boy, yeah, that's that's a lot.
And then there's obviously the MWSC mods, and this is we're at 280, which is not exactly accurate because some mods have multiple folders.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, close to 1,000. And I know the game is going to crash at some point. There's memory that is an issue, and that's something that we can't change. That's it. We got 4 gigs and we're pushing that to the limit. And I know that it's going to bug out at some point, or I'm going to find a broken quest somewhere, but there's so much content, there's so many things to do that I don't see those issues very often.
Yeah, for me, it's. I mean, I already played Morrowind a lot, but for me, the normal content the game offers is already mostly enough for me for like my Morrowind experience. But for me, most of the time, it's just operating the game. Like, for example, just having to click on something and then click on your character, that already is annoying the hell out of me. I have to just click on something and it's
Quick
gets
equip.
equipped. Yeah, that's
Thank you,
all those
Murderite.
small kind of oddities. Yeah, I used Murder's mod and just, well, basically bastardized that to my tastes.
It really does. And that's the sort of mod, like, you go, but how did I play the game for so long without it? I'd go nuts, transferring items with just a click, for example, that sort of things. Gliss, you say your game tends to crash about 5 to 30 minutes. That's pretty quick. Is that
God.
memory? I don't have the memory saving function fully implemented. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But yeah, that's, for me, I would say maybe about an hour, depending on if I travel to many different cells very quickly, then I can see my memory monitor just getting red very quickly. But 5 minutes is like, it's really quite a bit, really quite a bit. And then there's a few things you can do. If you look on the MMC, there's, I should pin that. I'll look for it and I'll pin it. I remember Abbott explaining a few things you could do to help with memory. But I don't remember where it is exactly. Anyhow, Seth, I think we've talked about all of your mods. Let me double check.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't have a lot of them. I believe...
7 of them.
Yeah, we had that one. Well, not much to talk about in my library. Yeah, I believe you've got everything.
Here's the thing that I wanted to ask you. We know that you already have a huge list of things that you want to fix, add, upgrade. And some of them say, yeah, but that's not a priority. What is a priority?
So right now, the next thing I want to include is for NPC soul trapping. That's like priority 1. And that's
for
like...
the soul battle?
No. The first thing I need to add is a little compatibility layer that other mods can use. For example, if they have soul gems that want to be identified as black soul gems, that came up in a discussion once I released the mod, which suddenly was 100 plus messages long for some reason, and a white and black list for creatures. For example, if you want Vivek to count as a human, for example, stuff like that. So these two. The next one would probably be HUD customize and enemy bars. For HUD customizer, it would be more label options and this fade out, fade in for out of combat, in combat elements. And for enemy bars, there's a ton which I've already done. I don't even know what I did anymore. It's a lot.
Yes.
So those are the priorities for now. After that is Soul Battle, and after that's done, I'm finally gonna have some time again to work on Inventory Decorator, which is gonna get some upgrades in terms of a vertical list instead of a grid for inventories. So you have names and quick information like damage for weapons, what kind of effects on your potions, meaning all of them, stuff like that. So yeah, that's like the most basic plans going forward.
Lots of good things to look forward to.
Whenever I get around to implementing all of that.
I think the world should come up with a Morrowind modding holiday. It's like
that was basically when
a whole
released.
week where you don't have to work, you don't have chores. your meals are cooked, and all you have to do is mod.
Yeah, that's where my enemy bars mod, my inventory decorator, and HUD customizer came from. That was all done during winter holidays, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I have nothing else to do. Might as well just, I don't know, don't have a life for 24 hours. So yeah.
You definitely have to take part in the Morrowind modding madness.
Yeah, when is that happening again? It's not set in stone yet, right?
Yeah, it didn't happen last year because it was postponed, and then it didn't happen. Normally, it's sometimes between October and December.
That might work out just fine, because last time we talked, I believe it was sometime around May. Was that another match? I'm not
No, the
sure.
Machan was in February.
Oh, okay. Because I believe in May I'm gonna go away for like 2-3 weeks on holiday. That's when I don't have time for once.
That's fair. That's fair. Life happens.
Yeah, but besides that, the only thing that could stop me besides work is Elden Ring, and yeah, once
But
that's done,
by then you will have finished it.
yeah, I hope so.
We'll see.
But once I'm done with Elden Ring, I'm most probably just gonna go back to Morrowind modding.
Yes, fingers crossed. Let me catch up with the chat. Glish, play some perma. I will, but right now that install, I know of too many issues that I need to fix, and also there's lots of new mods, so I just want to scrap it and make a new one. That's why I'm not playing perma, because I can't enjoy Morrowind with that current install, and I need to make a new one. That's it. My previous install has 360 mods and was stable. I believe it. Like, it's possible to have many mods. It's just knowing what to do when you install it. If you look at Abbott playing, he's got a huge amount of mods. As many or nearly as many, maybe more than me actually, but it has also those land masses, and he had to patch everything to make them all work together. And his game hardly ever crashes. It's really quite amazing. You like the idea of a Morrowind modding holiday? Make it happen, guys. Become minister of holidays in your respective countries, and we'll make it happen. Tell me when you're ready.
I mean, that would be great. That would certainly boost my productivity.
Right? And you get paid double.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna do it full time.
There we go. Bobby Fatgun, your channel was recommended to me. Someone, I love Morrowind. You have come to the right place. Though, as you can see, sometimes we play Morrowind, but also like to talk about mods, or like today, talk about the people who make the mods, which is interesting as well. All right, I think that's the problem with a companion mod. Those are super tricky. I'm really looking forward to the day where anyone at all, please, wants to make a companion framework. Right now we have the the Morrowind script for companions that are what they are. They're long and they're likely to break somewhere along the way. And then we have a handful of Lua mods from Murlord, from Abbott in particular. And all together they make the companion experience better. But yeah, a nice companion framework would be good. Murlord was talking about it, but right now he's hyped with bushcrafting, so it's not gonna happen.
I mean, that wouldn't be too terribly hard, but maintaining that mod would actually be the most work. Which is
in what sense? When there's new companion mods added, or?
Yeah, rather like I can already see each companion mod wanting specific functionality, maybe have core functionality change, stuff like that. That's if you do frameworks, it's gonna be a pain. No way around it.
What if I make you a list of features and I tell you these are the core features that's it, and people can't have more?
If people can't have more, they're gonna complain.
Damn it, but I would have my companion framework mod.
I mean, fair enough, but I believe my to-do list is just too full right now.
I realize that. Have you seen
yeah.
question?
Yeah, I was going to answer that right now. No, I actually don't have plans to do it for OpenMW. One being OpenMW, well, I don't use it, so it would more than double my testing time. And second, a lot of the stuff that OpenMW has for Lua isn't enough, actually. For some of my UI mods, of course it is. But like, for example, NPC soul wrapping would be an issue, stuff like that. And everything that goes around handling with like spawning objects is also kind of iffy from what I saw. I haven't invested a lot of time, but the main reason is I get OpenMW is very different, and full compatibility would only be with MWSE would only be possible with a dedicated framework. But for now, I would basically have to rewrite all of my mods from scratch because OpenMW went, well, the route of let's completely ignore compatibility, and well, that's the problem.
I think most likely what is going to have to happen, like people I understand, I mean knows what Open Lua can do, or like OpenMW Lua, so
yeah,
that doesn't apply to him, but a lot of people like mod users won't say, can you make that mod compatible with Open Morrowind? I don't think that's the way to go. The way to go is there is a mod with MWSC that does this, this, and that. Let's have a look at Open Morrowind Lua and see what we can do, how we can do it. But like not try to translate a mod from one engine to another, but see what that engine can do and how it can be best implemented with that engine.
Yeah, there's a few problems. Like for one, OpenMW in some aspects works completely different from how vanilla Morrowind works. So some things can't be easily done without a framework of sorts. That's just impossible, sadly enough. And given that OpenMW Lua already is in a really, really, really early state, building a framework on top of that for MWSE compatibility is just one huge mess for like development time. That's just not feasible. But I must say that like Morrowind already had a huge established modding framework, MWSE in this case, and just ignoring that completely while coming up for concepts and API for OpenMW's Lua was just a huge miss. That's like, I mean, I totally get the technical reasons behind it, but it makes no sense from a modding community perspective. And that's just an issue. Nobody's gonna re-release all the MWSE mods and basically pick up another huge chunk of work.
It's a different engine. What I'm showing on screen is something that Sai showed me, something that can be done with OpenMW.
Yeah, camera movement. Yeah.
That, but also you can see inside a cell from outside of it. Basically, you can open the door and you see what's inside. I don't think I've picked the right time for it.
That would also be possible in MWSE. There's only one issue preventing that, which G7 kind of hacked around, which is stopping simulation time, like so that nothing moves. You could do something like that. Well, by essentially slowing down time to a crawl that would take several years for 1 second to pass, but you can't completely stop it. And that's a core feature of Morrowind, which is really hard to strip out. So, yeah. Yeah, the multiplayer aspect, I get that.
Point is there's gonna be all kinds of things. Not related. Oh, not related. But yeah, that's an unnamed Morrowind rewrite project.
Let me see. Yeah, I know. I know that the technical reasons behind that are obviously more complex than that. But it's just, I mean, there's nothing really moving me or other MWSE Lua mod authors to go and support Open Morrowind right now. I
Well,
mean,
if
as
you're
it
not
stands,
playing with like a modder,
yeah,
they mod first and foremost for themselves. So, like I myself, when people say, "Oh, can you?" I mean, I don't make Lua mods, but I am not particularly motivated to do a patch or even to look for issues to troubleshoot. Like when people have a problem with, I don't know, what is it, wares or friends and foes, and they're on Open Morrowind, and I like, it's not that I don't want to help them, but I don't use Open Morrowind. I don't know how it works. I don't understand it. So for me to troubleshoot something on something that I don't know and I don't use, it's like I'm not motivated to do that. It's not fun,
mhm,
and I
yeah.
have very little motivation. So
Yeah,
I get like if
I also see the multiplayer argument. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That would be really hard to fix, but a compatibility framework or layer would be possible to alleviate a lot of that, if not everything. But fair enough, at that point, you might as well not support compatibility at all, because if you only have partial compatibility, you still have to do a lot of rewrites, and at that point, well, what you're gonna do? It's just that OpenMW not only still has a lot of outstanding, well, a lot, still has outstanding issues, and its multiplayer component is far from finished. So I don't see a reason to go that route. I mean,
just yet at the
there's
very least.
yeah, it's like especially if I want to like support multiplayer, like for UI mods, it's not gonna be a huge issue. Let's be honest. But if I want to support stuff like Soul Battle and stuff like that, that's not gonna be an easy task to do. And well, compatibility wise, let's say it like that. Um, and given that OpenMW adds functionality needed for that mod to work, let's just assume that. I'm essentially still gonna have to write 2 mods. I'm gonna have to maintain 2 mods, and I'm gonna have to test 2 mods,
Yeah.
which might also behave differently given engine's capabilities. And yeah, if I want to make it multiplayer compatible, multiplayer has to be finished first before I even think about adding stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be debugging OpenMW issues while I'm gonna be debugging my mod. And that's not something I'm really willing to do.
Understandable, and like we all mod the game because we love it, because we enjoy it. It's not a job. There's no holiday to mod.
Exactly.
So you should like, everybody should do what they enjoy, and then if other people can enjoy it, brilliant, even better. We can't please everyone anyway. There's always something. Wow,
Yeah,
that's a bit sad. We need to end on something more positive. Morrowind is great. We love it.
yeah.
Who
I
got
mean,
it?
there's really 2 options. Like you pick OpenMW if you're on Linux or Mac, or you have like problems with performance, load times, which are obviously better in Open Morrowind.
I
But for now,
agree. Like there's always Reddit posts on Reddit like,
yeah,
oh, should I use this? I use MWSE
yeah,
because sexy mods like yours, I have to have them. However, I have actually on multiple occasions recommended from what the people were saying, from what they wanted. I told them, you're better off going with OpenMW. It's simple to install. You're gonna have some quality of life improvement that are already built in. You don't need to do anything. It's there. You can install mods. Go for it. You want to play on your phone? Well, it's a no-brainer. Go for it. Depending on what people want, like if they say, "Oh yeah, but I want Asphalt," well, in that case, I recommend you go for vanilla Morrowind, because that's the way it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, for now, the original vanilla Morrowind engine is like modder heaven. So if you're a really modding enthusiast, chances are you're gonna stick to MWSE. I even went the extra mile, and I'm personally using Linux, and getting MWSE to work on that was quite a bit of work. But I did it anyways because I couldn't live without it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're back to motivation. Kagan, you're talking about Morrowind that seems to have a larger end goal. That's very true. I was talking with Sai29A, Sai, the lead dev of Open Morrowind, and he was explaining to me indeed that they're starting to work on integrating the TES4 ESM and like all the similar games in terms of engine. So yeah, that like the end goal is way broader than playing Morrowind. Which is also, I guess it's another thing. MWSC is like super focused on, like, it's what we were saying. A modder says, hey, I need to be able to do that. Sure. Well, not always. It's not that easy, I guess. But like MWSC is super focused on Morrowind and exposing new things and things that don't exist. Whereas Open Morrowind, I mean, Open MW, sure, right now is a way to play Morrowind, but that's not just it. It's ultimately it wants to be way broader, to include multiplayer, to possibly be able to run Oblivion and Fallout and things like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a really nice goal and all. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like only the aspect itself, especially multiplayer for all those later titles, for example, that's a huge undertaking. And just having one launcher for everything and it just works would be kind of great. But so far, that's sorry to say, just a pipe dream. And until that becomes a reality, people that really, really, really need those modding options are going to stick to Morrowind if they don't have other options, which they don't currently. So.
No, agreed. All those games are lame compared to Morrowind, though. I don't want to go in the discussion. Like, obviously, in our little group here, we tend to all prefer Morrowind and we go, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, man, different people, different tastes. I for one, really enjoyed Oblivion. Even given its given that a lot of its systems are really crap. But that's also something to say about Morrowind. Some of its systems are also really crap. We're just used to them.
Exactly. We've learned to love them.
Yeah, Skyrim, for example.
There was enough sugar coating that we could swallow the pill, basically.
I mean, Skyrim, for example, take that. It's a nice, I say, casual exploration, combat game, stuff like that, but it doesn't have like this kind of lore and world that Morrowind has. It's like completely different taste for anyone. The only thing that I'd say is that Oblivion really is painful when you get higher level because everything takes 500 trillion hits and you just smash your left mouse button. That's the one thing I really, really, really disliked.
Fortunately, I'm sure there's a mod for that. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really easy fix, but at that point, if I start, I mean, before I modded my Morrowind, a lot of years ago, I first started modding Oblivion, actually. But I never really got into modding myself for Oblivion. I have no idea why. I probably wasn't interested enough. So yeah, that could be an option, but modding Oblivion as extensively as I do my own Morrowind installation, at some point I'm just going to run out of time.
Fair. Very fair. I
also see...
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I see someone mentioning Open MW is open, so one could add the latest MWSE functionality to it. No, that's not possible. The engines just work too differently. The frameworks that and APIs that already have been set into place are completely exclusive to each other. At that point, you're just redoing everything from scratch. And MWSE already has a lot of work still to do. OpenMW still has a lot of work to do. And then you want to take two systems which still have a lot of work to do and combine them. That's just, nobody's going to do that.
It feels like trying to build something on the basis of something that is not built yet.
Yeah, it's like trying to build a skyscraper on, like, I don't know, a wooden foundation. That's not gonna work.
Fair, that's fair. I mean, if you just love Oblivion, cool. Yeah, like, for me, Oblivion, I can't... For me, it needs a lot of modding, but I can't mod it as well as Morrowind, because I don't know it as well, I guess. So when I install things, it's gonna crash more often, I won't know how to fix it. So I go back to Morrowind, basically.
I see many MWSE mods literally change random bytes. Not many, only very, very, very few, because that functionality isn't even documented, because we don't want to encourage people actually just writing random memory addresses. Like, I get your point, but that's only done because that functionality does not exist in NWSE, and people didn't want to bother integrating it into NWSE. So yeah, that's maybe like 10 mods at most that you're referencing. That's like nothing. But I get your point. Like, full compatibility would be a goddamn nightmare. That's sadly a pipe dream too. Just gonna live with it. We have two options. Gotta
I
pick
mean,
one.
the truth is, Morrowind and OpenMW, they both do things 20 years later after the game was released. They both do things that no one thought possible. Like, what we have already is already so far from the original product. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with things not being perfect, with older mods now not running properly, with the occasional bugs, with using OpenMW, that knowing that it's not finished. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm thankful. That's what I want to say. I'm thankful for what we can do with Morrowind, considering how Morrowind was shipped.
Yeah, I mean, I only checked out Morrowind and the modding scene like 3 years ago again. And seeing MCP, MGAXE, MWSE, I was like, what the hell is all of this? And fully seeing what kind of fixes and additions have been made, I was like, oh, well, holy crap, I'm probably gonna waste a year or two just modding my game. It's really incredible what the community has come up with. And Open the MW, the first time I tested it, it was barely playable, and nowadays it runs
Beautifully.
normal Morrowind pretty well. It
Yeah,
still has
like
some issues with mods, and the multiplayer is still heavily work in progress, of course. But I mean, if you take vanilla Morrowind without MCP and MWSE,
I
it's gonna
wouldn't play
crash
it.
every 5 minutes.
I
So
wouldn't play it, honestly. I couldn't play it.
yeah,
That's
vanilla
the way it
Morrowind is a hard pill to swallow these days.
Exactly. Again, I agree with you. Playing old games, people should know what they're getting into. Modding games, people should also know what they're getting into. That's the way it is. It's like, if you're running a 20-year-old game, you can't expect it to run smoothly on your system. Maybe it will, which is great. If you're modding your game, you can't expect it to go perfectly unless you know exactly what you're doing. It's like, exactly, you have to know what you're getting into. I think what we have is already pretty damn good, and it's getting better, whether it is OpenMW, my goodness, I can't speak anymore. MWSC, there we go. Whether it is MWSC, we know it's still progressing, or OpenMW, we know it's still progressing as well. So I'm fine. I'm happy, honestly.
Yeah, for me it was really amazing getting back. I mean, to be fair, the first time I played Morrowind was on the original Xbox. I didn't actually play it on PC the first time when it released. And on Xbox, it really ran like shit. It was nearly unplayable.
I see people playing it on Xbox and I go, how? And like going through the inventory, I'm like, no.
Actually, the inventory was way better to use on the Xbox version, believe it or not.
Huh. When I see it, I'm like, oh god, no. And
Yeah.
and then the loading times.
Yeah, the load times and especially the FPS were so atrocious. I mean, in Mournhold, for example, I still remember just walking around how's this? God, I can't believe I forgot his name. The little wood elf that wants your money and kills you. Yeah, something. Oh come on,
Okay,
Gaynor.
the boss mer, Gaynor.
Yeah. I still remember walking around there, and I didn't even hit 10 FPS. It was like, holy crap. And it was constant. It was really a pain.
Yeah. So yeah, we've come a very, very long way, and people are still going. So quite happy. I think it was, yes, Fanan. That is the mod we have. A very latest mod with hats that lets you wear a hat and keep your hair. And then so this is basically the framework by Safebox, and then Rufin Vanguard made this. So you have a whole bunch of glasses, goggles, and helmets that you can wear and keep your hair. So there, it's been done. We were talking about it a year ago. Somebody made it happen. Because Morrowind is great. Before we finish, I want to let you know that we have the 20 years of Morrowind interviews going. Alien Sloth is already out. Mickey D is already out. Dave and Free was also published on Monday. Tomorrow, you need about an hour of time and you can listen to the interview with Merlord. Take notes and then, laugh at him. Don't. Take notes, then I will test you. And then the week after that, it's the interview with Gnomi, who is the current TR lead dev. Also very interesting if you're interested in Tamriel Rebuilt.
You still have a huge backlog of modern interviews right now, right?
A lot of modding.
Interviews.
I have already interviewed Ilona, Dominic, Zix, Rubberman. That's 4 people I've interviewed, and I need to edit the audio and then make the video, and I hate it.
Yeah, editing is a pain.
I hate it so much, which is why my videos are just there. Once we've started, that's it. Brilliant, nothing, and then just at the very end, there's a little something. That's it. And then YouTube suggests thumbnails based on the video, and it suggests that, and I'm going, yes, that's a perfect thumbnail. And I don't even have to make the thumbnail. I'm so pleased.
That's great. I mean, I can't even. You've put so much time into. I don't even know what kinds of stuff you all do. Your blog, your modern interviews, your whole reviews and stuff like that. And you even lead events.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
even the short time where I was like constantly only modding Morrowind nonstop, I was like at the end of like 4 or 5 weeks, I was like, man, I'm burned out. I want to see something else. I'm not crippled creatively. That's like, I can't imagine doing this for this time and still sticking to it and putting out content at this pace.
I am going to slow down a little bit. I'll be honest with you. Last week, when you told me, okay, we're doing the stream, and I had basically my organization skill had failed me, I was like, okay, there's something wrong. If you're not keeping up, if you can't remember things properly, maybe you're doing a little too much.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's no gain from you just burning out on content, and then your content's gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. Nobody's gonna get anything out of that. That's like, I mean, to be fair, I also stopped working a lot, like in my normal work life, and decided to just straight up work less and make less money just so I could have some more free time. That's to be fair, not everyone is able or has the luck to be in a situation like that, but even given that, or if you're just like putting all your free time into doing content for Morrowind for the community, it's just the most important to watch out that your mental health doesn't deteriorate because of something like that.
Yeah, like the moment it starts to feel like work,
Yeah.
Like when I tell myself that's what happened this Thursday, I was like, okay, I was up ready, time to stream, and I was like, I think I'd rather work. That's something wrong there.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Um,
you have been doing this for a very long time, so
yeah, I
it's
guess.
about time, really. That's
But I
like,
enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's
yeah, yeah,
just not as much. I'm publishing 3 articles a week, doing 2 streams, testing all the mods that not all the mod, testing a dozen mods that come out every week. Moderating is not that much work.
I mean, that's not even a side job anymore. That's pretty much a second day job.
A little bit, but
Uh,
it is fun. It is fun, and I talk to people, and then I can put pressure on modders to make mods for me. There are perks.
so that's fair enough.
But yeah, and I want to play the game. But to play the game, I need to first update my mods, then update the other mods, and then have an anyway, it's a never-ending process.
Yeah, I know the problem.
Bottom line is, guys, if you love Morrowind, I think you'll enjoy those interviews with people who have or are really important to Morrowind, and not just modding. That was something really important that I wanted to do, because I talk with a lot of modders, and I love you guys, obviously, but I also wanted to talk to people who do different things, people whose art is influenced by Morrowind, people who well, Dave Humphrey, for example, he created the unofficial Elder Scroll pages, and it's become his job, like his love of Morrowind.
Not bad.
That's his job now. That's pretty cool, right? People who write stories. Anyway, I want to know more about other things, Skywind and Open Morrowind and all of that. So that's what
Yeah,
we're doing.
yeah, especially making that kind of stuff to your day job. That's great. I just hope when that happens ever that those people don't burn out on doing that and also kill their passion while doing that. That's like one of the worst things that can happen. But
Yeah, you don't. It's okay. Fortunately, I can just step back a little bit, continue, but
yeah,
not as much. I'm gonna miss Thursdays. Yeah, I know, Merlot. That's a better time for you, but yeah. And the other thing is Thursdays, because of the stream, I can't have my morning routine where I have a glass of water, I clean a bit around the kitchen, I prepare my breakfast. I work out a little bit. Okay, I play Beat Saber for 15 minutes, right? That's my workout. And
yeah,
then I have
that's my
breakfast,
workout.
and then I work. But with the stream, I don't have time to do all those things because I need to update the mod, blah blah blah. And then I don't know, the not having the morning routine, it just breaks the whole day for me, which is a bit silly. But that's the other side. When you have a routine, it helps. But then when you can't follow it, you're like, this is wrong.
Yeah, I felt that when I made a switch back with work life. That was like, okay, today I don't have to work. What the hell am I gonna do in the middle of the week now? It was a bit confusing at first. You get used to stuff a lot quicker, but still pretty odd.
Merlord, I see your question. If you demote me from MMC mod, will you bring back the Thursday stream? No. Because honestly, on MMC, I don't do a lot. I just inform people about things going on, which it's not that much. You're the one banning people. Me, I just tell them, I don't want to see your conversation. Go to Chim. I don't want to see what you're talking about because I never go there.
Can't imagine being moderator for a community. That seems like such incredible. I don't know. I couldn't put up with some people that are just obviously there to annoy people. That's
it's a
man.
hobby. It's a hobby for them. It's a sad hobby, but it is a
Yeah.
hobby. But I was trying to, and
How can you kill a
here
god
comes Null
with
Cascade.
a grand and intoxicating innocence? I'm a god. How can you kill a god? Shame on you.
No cascade.
I should really disable that for the interviews. We're not interviewing, we're just chatting. That's fine. That's
I mean,
fine.
nothing wrong
That
with
was
some Davis
loud.
wave.
Yeah, but yeah, he chose that. Being a moderator sounds terrible. Do not recommend. I believe you were, right? No, you were a moderator for a while. And
I
then
believe it was, yeah.
and then he went, that's it, I'm gonna play, what was it? Not Harvest Moon, the newer version of Harvest Moon. Stardew Valley. I think that was around that time.
Ah, yeah.
But yeah. Decrease the volume by done. Yeah, but to do that, I need to remind Aurel to go and edit the bot. And then I will say, while you're editing a few things, can you add those features? And I put pressure on many people to do things for me. Also,
I mean,
secretly, I know Null Cascade and Merlord, they both enjoy having that really loud intro. I know they do. Yes, you were gonna say, sorry.
yeah, wait, what was I going to say? Goddamn. Yeah, well, I can't remember something that was 5 seconds ago, so...
Yeah, but that's a sign. That's our brains telling us, guys, time to take a break.
Fair enough.
Both are loud and obnoxious. I don't know, Sep. You would know something about that. And now we get MMC people coming in just as we're leaving. Don't take it personally, guys. It's not you, it's me. Sort of thing. There's no train of thought on the Dagoth wave. All right. Anyway, Seth, thank you so much for talking to us about your mods and about the features that we can wait for, but not be impatient about.
No problem. It was fun. Thanks for having me. And yeah, as I said, I hope I get to it after Elden Ring, but who knows?
Go for it.
It's at least
Just
the plan for
get
now.
it out of your system. I know how it is. Occasionally, I'm like, I want to play Minecraft, and then it takes me 2 weeks, and then I'm done. And then I look at it, I'm like,
And the problem with modding is when your creativity starts to, fade because you are basically burning yourself out on Morrowind. You're not gonna put out a good mod. You're gonna put out shit.
and the more you push yourself, the less you want to. So yeah. And once again, it's not a job, so don't push yourself.
No worries. I'm still gonna update it. Thanks.
Yes, updating mods. I have to update mods too. All right. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week on Sunday, where I will be playing Morrowind, which means I have a week to fix my install. Easy, can do. Have a good time, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Seth, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. There isn't much left.
Yeah, well, thank you. You do too.
Bye, guys.